Right. So there was a celebration in Greenfold Village, to which everybody had their own individual little thing happen to them. Unfortunately, except for Arrabella, who was passed out from exhaustion the majority of the time. After saying goodbye to Raphael and Lorabith, you made your way onwards, and just on the way out of Greenfold Village, you were approached by a man named Num, who looked at the party and singled out the most charismatic person that he could see from a glance, which was Loic, and requested his help in the fact that their lead actress had come under a bad case of pregnancy and was unable to fulfill their role. So was prepared to pay a hefty amount of gold to basically get them in. So deciding, hey, free gold, it's on the way. You guys head off to a place called Blue Town, where you were all roped into performing in little extras to a play that went completely and utterly tits up. But it seems that the audience liked it. A raucous amount of laughter, and sold out tickets almost immediately. As the cast was taking a bow, Verity noticed an old lady moving away from the crowd, and keenly aware that there was some green, sparkly, crackly energy coming out from her fingers, decided to go investigate. This old lady just wanted to come for. She enjoyed the theatre, just wanted to make her way home. Loic decided to join Verity, and not trusting this old lady, decided to make her way home. And as the walk went on and the conversation grew, it became very apparent that there was something very, very wrong with this old lady. Deciding there and then that it would be best not to proceed, not to follow her anymore. You left behind, only to find out that Loic's Arcane Focus and Verity's ritual book had been stolen. So, getting out of your costumes and into your armor, you're venturing off. Loic came across a place that he had seen before in his dreams. A hollowed out dead tree, and inside the old lady, sitting in exactly the same spot in which he dreamed to her. But this time she seemed to be having a conversation with someone who wasn't present. Only Loic, for some reason, was able to get inside. Anybody else who tried was magically sent out. You guys were unable to figure out what was the cause of this, allowing Loic to have a rather hefty conversation with her. To the point where some information was revealed in which Far suggested that she had an indirect cause in creating Loic. But whether or not she was telling the truth or not is out for anyone's grabs. The illusion that he was speaking with, or the puppets that he was speaking with, crumbled to ash. And 3 hags ventured outside of their little shack to begin their ritual. The party came upon them, and after a brief few words, began combat. And combat was not going so well. And that was where we left off. So,
not going so well is a bit of an understatement.
Who in combat is incapacitated right now?
You're up first, Loic.
I'll try to.
So Korgrin's down and Rennas is down.
Okay, I'll try to blast this one away.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Up.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. 8 points of force damage. So you send forth an Eldritch Blast and hits him square in the chest, causing him to go tumbling 10 feet in just beside Otti.
Can't have him there either, so we'll blast him again, or at least try to. It's a miss.
Following up with another one, it uses his drive and deflects the Eldritch Blast to the ground.
Moving up. That's it for me.
Oh, because I changed your token, Verity. Do you remember what your score was?
No, I'll take a look. Keep going.
Okay, no worries. If you're before I turn anyone, I'll just immediately skip to your turn. Okay?
Okay.
I think you were pretty high if I remember them. Anyway, Otti, you're up next.
Okay, because Verity Wild Magics and I've now got Fly, I'm going to fly over to Rennas.
Right, he's going to get he'll get an opportunity attack with you because you're still within 5 feet of him.
That's fine.
Alright, so he will lash out with his Goliath.
Try to get him away.
That's a miss. So he swings, but you're too quick. Zoom.
Okay, I'm going to go over to Rennas. I'll move. This side of yeah. I'm going to give Rennas a potion, so that a healing potion, so that he can actually get up.
Right, so that'd be your action. Okay, which potion are you giving him?
Just a standard one?
What, sorry?
Hang on. My hair got in the way. Just checking what we've got in there. Oh, we've only got greater ones. We've only got a greater one, so that's 4d4 plus 4.
4d4 plus 4.
Plus 4. Please roll.
I had to do the slash first.
9 for initiative, by the way. That was my usual contribution.
Alright, so that is 15 hit points back to Rennas. So Rennas, you come to consciousness with Otti floating just over your head, withdrawing the bottle from your lips.
Fuck's sake, did I die again?
Yes, you did. Not amused.
To be fair, someone just looked at me this time.
And I'm going to take a step back over here. Fly back over.
Okay, no worries. Alright, so that brings us to Arrabella.
Okay, so I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. I'll move to there. And I'm going to bonus action move my Fiend Bow to that one. Not my Fiend Bow, my Hunter's Mark. Sorry guys, I'm bloody exhausted. And I'm going to Fiend Bow him, shockingly.
Okay, make the attack roll. It is a magical weapon for this purposes.
And a +2.
That's
so
a hit,
17. Well, so that's roll 3d8 plus
3D8,
my dex, which is 2, I believe, off the top of my head. And then I'll roll 1d6 for my Hunter's Mark.
That is 15 points of damage. So the Fiend Bow fires across, boom, it hits it square in the chest. Did the damage. I believe he needs to make a saving throw, doesn't he?
He does. I'm pretty certain I haven't opened my Fiend Bow.
+4 to that, so then it brings it to 13 to save. What's the DC for the Fiend Bow?
I will let you know. Oh wait, it just says about flying fiends happen to make. Oh no, DC 12 strength saving throw. So he's made it.
So he's not knocked prone from that.
Nope. And then I'll use my second attack on this one.
Okay. That is also a hit. Roll damage again.
So this is just 3d8 plus 2, and another strength saving throw.
He makes a save, and that's 17 points more. So you hit him with 2 arrows. From that, you can see he's bleeding profusely. That attack did a lot of damage to him.
Okay, and then I'm going to use my last movement just to move back a little bit more.
You know, Hunter's Mark does that only happen once per round?
It's a bonus action, yeah.
Yeah, you move it.
No, I mean the damage for it.
Oh, it's anytime she hits, I believe.
Oh yeah, but I hit the.
It was a different target.
Yeah, I hit the one by Corgi for the second one.
Oh, you hit that one. Okay, yeah, no, well that one actually kills that guy.
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah, you shoot him through the head, and he immediately falls down to the ground. 9 on initiative. All right, I'll add that on for you now. Thank you, Verity. So you're half there. So I'll add 17 to him.
I'm now going to get more gin.
Ooh!
Alright. So that brings us to Bellatrix.
Okay.
So the one in front of you has just been struck by an arrow and he's now looking a little hurt.
Okay.
You are wounded, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, wounded and poisoned, I believe.
Was I wounded and poisoned?
Yes.
What was the wounded effect? No, I avoided being wounded.
The wounded effect is basically where the Goliath hit you from the sky. It's still a burning sensation. It doesn't affect you anything now, but if he hits you again, that's going to hurt.
I think I avoided being wounded. It was just poisoned.
Yeah, I thought no one had actually been wounded, to be fair. Lots of people got poisoned.
Two people have been wounded, I know that.
Did we? Oh, okay.
One
I
is
was not
better,
paying attention then.
I thought the other was better.
I thought I avoided it.
Right.
I was not paying attention, I apologise.
Whenever that Loic is definitely wounded.
Because I think he got me with his beard, but not with his glaive.
Yeah.
That was it.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, well, we'll gloss over it for this time, but I'll endeavour to remember next time.
Just make sure, yeah.
Now, everyone knows who's poisoned, right? You know if you are poisoned.
I am poisoned.
So,
I was poisoned, but that ended when I went unconscious, correct? Is that what we decided last week?
Right. When you go unconscious, your the poison effect ends on you because it only lasts a minute. But whilst you're up and still poisoned, you cannot regain hit points.
Danke.
Did you say you were going to get Corgi up, Verity?
Yeah, I'm on that. So you guys just keep fighting.
Okay. Then I'm going to attack the one in front of me with my glaive.
Alright,
Just one.
make the attack. That's a hit. Roll damage.
Thank you. Plus 5. Nice.
And is that with the rage included?
That was rage included, yeah.
Alright. So you strike him with your glaive, and you do some damage, but not as much as you think you would.
Okay, gonna go again then. Oh my god! Yes! Yes! Yes!
Yes?
Yes!
So 6, 12, plus 5, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, with that, you give him a good gash across his chest, and he takes a few steps backwards, clutching his chest, but then puts his hands on the glaive again. He's on his last legs now, and he knows it.
Okay, bonus action back of the glaive.
Ooh!
Oh shit.
That one is a miss. Ready for this one, he uses his glaive to deflect the back of your blade away.
Okay.
Does he want to move anywhere?
Nah, because he'll get an opportunity attack.
I know. That is fast.
Fuck him.
She is going to... She's going to use her 5th level spell slot. She's going to move there. That puts her in a straight line with Bellatrix and Loic. Can I get dexterity saving throws from you, please?
Oh!
Bellatrix, you have advantage on this because you're seeing it coming.
Lovely. Dex save.
I mean, if she's casting a spell, can I counter it?
Are you within 30 feet of her?
I thought the range was 60 for her spell.
Yeah, usually it's
I think
No.
it is.
Let me just double check on that. Yeah, counterspell is 60 feet. What level are you casting it at? Third.
Level 3.
Right. So this is a 5th level spell. So let me just.
Well, if it's higher than 4th level, I believe
D20 plus your the person that's counterspelling. It's a D20 plus your spell casting modifier.
Yeah.
The DC of 10 plus the spell's level.
Level. Okay, so sweet. So it'll be 12, and my spell casting modifier is 4.
The DC is 15.
Okay, that makes sense. It'll be roll 1d20 plus 4.
Yeah.
Here we go. 15. In there.
Oh, nice.
So she forms a lightning spear in her hand. She starts to cast it.
God.
No, but she goes.
Oh, that one would have.
And she just goes.
I am out of spell slot.
Fuck yes. That was beautiful.
Nicely done.
She looks at you, Loic, and she goes,
Wonderful!
No, you're not supposed to say that.
Power from you.
There's no more power to take. I'm all out of it.
Loic, you get the feeling she's not talking to you. She's looking at you, but she's kind of looking through you as well. Rennas, it's your turn.
Watching him?
Okie doke. Rennas is just going to take a pop at this one with his bow.
I guess he gets
Whoa! I
his feet.
zoomed out by a mile. My map just went crazy 2 secs. Right. Character sheet. Scroll. Hurry up, laptop. Right, sorry, I'm taking a shot with my short bow.
It's a 4 attempt, though. You need to try harder than that. Who are you shooting? The bearded devil?
That one. Yeah, bearded devil.
Make the attack roll. That hits.
Woo.
Do the damage. It's 5 reduced.
That's a bit better.
13. Oh, that's much better. So
It couldn't be any fucking worse than my last one.
that would be.
You're still rolling crits either way, though. It's really weird.
Yeah, fair one. My last 66, I've rolled 4 1s and 2 6s.
So that would be 9 points of damage altogether against him. We'll take you fire the bow, and this is just as he is about to bring his life down onto Bellatrix, the arrow goes straight through his head. He curses around at you, his head bleeding profusely, before the magic that compels him to stay in the material on fails, and he bursts into ash.
I did kill something. It's a miracle.
Thanks, Rennas.
Right, I'm then going to run to the back of the building and climb down the back. Do I need an athletic check for that?
If you're climbing
gloves
down
of
safely,
climbing.
yes.
I will climb down safely because I'm not planning on moving
Don't
anymore.
you have the gloves of climbing?
I do have the gloves of +5 as well,
Yeah,
so 27.
That won't be any issue at all, so you're able to get down without any issue.
Happy days, and then bonus action hide before my end of turn. And that's about fucking normal.
Right,
Back on fort now.
I can tell you that they know you're there.
I'm still got a building in between me and them. I mean, you know, it's better than nothing.
It's true.
Okay. Let's have a look. See. All right. If that is the case, Foe is going to come over to here. She sees you, Rennas, and goes,
Well, the little elf boy is trying to hide.
But not
can
very
you-
well.
Can you make a wisdom save?
Why is it always wisdom? I'm thick as shit. I am not wise.
That is a success.
I'm sorry, but the way your face just lit up right there.
Because I'd already resigned myself to another death.
You get the feeling that there was some power behind her words that tried to overcome you, but you're able to shake off the effect, and you take no damage.
Wahaha.
Yeah, so that's...
I will not be cocky anymore.
Alright, Verity, you're up.
Okay, so I'm gonna cram my hero potion into Corgi's face.
Okay.
That's not helpful.
That's
Pour it down his throat.
Right?
I can just picture being bludgeoned with a glass bottle right now.
Hey, I'm not a medic.
Wake up, Corgi, wake up!
Is it working? Ah!
Hey.
Thanks.
So you get 7 HP, Corgi. And then, if I stand in front of
that's
him,
your action.
like, actually, no, it's his turn next. I'm cool, I'm just gonna back up.
Okay, no problem.
Just be like,
Right, it would be the bearded devil's turn, but they are all dead. So they go straight to Korgrin. So Korgrin, you're back to consciousness. Verity has just taken the glass vial away from you. She backs away.
I put a vial. I want to keep that.
Moradin's beard. Not enough. Not enough.
That's not it, yo.
Off my movement to stand up, and I would like to flee 15 foot away. So, I don't want to be in that space. I don't really want to be there. It will
Actually,
do.
I would have put a bit more down so we're not like clumped together where he wants to go.
2, 3. I do keep disconnecting just as a heads up from Roll20. I don't know why.
Yeah, I have noticed that.
Have I moved on your screen, or have I not
Yes.
moved on your screen?
Yes, you have moved.
You've moved
Okay,
10
fantastic.
feet.
I only have 25 movement speed, and it takes half to get up. So,
Yeah.
action. Yeah, action. I would like to cast Cure Wounds on myself as a first level spell. Which is 1d8 plus
1d8.
2.
7 hit points back for yourself.
Bonus action. I would like to cast Spiritual Weapon, level 2. And have that. Where can I fix it?
You still got quite a few spell slots left, haven't you? Because you keep them going down.
I do. I have actually used very few spell slots. I still
He's
have
got the
all
entire
4
pack
level 1.
unconscious, so he hasn't used them.
Yeah, basically.
Which, don't get me wrong, I'm well used to that position. But yeah.
Something right by far.
Yes. And I would like to make a attack against her with that.
Alright, make the attack roll.
It does not hit.
That is a miss. She sees it coming and she just creates some form of invisible barrier that blows back the spiritual weapon. Okay. Right. That's your turn, isn't it? Right, Faye is down. So, Loic, it's your go.
I see from the corner of my eye this wedge going over to attack Rennas, and I feel the need to attempt to defend him as I kind of got him into this situation, so Eldritch Blast on her.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
I feel the need to defend me because I'm weak as shit and die all the time. Yay!
Gotta keep the squishy safe.
That's 10 feet of damage. That's 10 damage, and she is blasted back towards the edge of the lake.
Back in the swamp, you hag! And then here, a blast, hopefully it hits. Oh, fuck.
The second one, she sees it coming, and she puts up her hands and basically just takes the Eldritch Blast and just pushes it back, blasting into the ground a few feet away.
To put her into the bog. Alright, that's it for me.
Okay, Otti, you're up. You're still flying.
I believe you can fly.
Pretty much.
Also, while you're flying, you have 60 feet movement.
Yeah, that's fine. So from here, I'm going to move here, and I'm going to Burning Hands this hag here. That's
Okay.
not what you described. That's me.
Alright, so that's
I
the
think
next
it's
save.
yeah, you have to touch her.
Isn't that
Burning
a-
Hands, 15-foot cone.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Cool.
That's a 9. It's a 9 to save.
there's little fishies in the basket. What?
Alright, so that's 13 points of fire damage against her as you cover her in flames. The flame bursts away. You can see that she's definitely been scorched by it and her ugly face is now even more ugly. So, as she now has like horrible blackened marks on it.
And then I'm to get 1, 2, 6. Come down.
Okay, so you fly off over there. How many feet in the air are you at the moment?
10.
So I didn't catch that. Could you repeat that?
10.
10 feet. Okay. Arrabella, it's your turn.
Okay, I am going to move here because. Oh no, I'm not. I don't like lines. There's so many ways to make lines. Shit. Excuse my language. I'll go there, and then I'm going to try and get far with my. Oh, I'm going to bonus action move my hunter's mark to her.
Righto.
And then I will fiend bow her.
Fiend bow her. Your fiend bow is still in effect against her.
Ooh.
Whereas the other hags are fey creatures, this particular one is now a fiend.
Very nice. So that's 3d8 plus 2. And we're going to roll a 1d6. Really?
That's 12 points of damage against her.
My luckies don't count on attack rolls, do they? I haven't got my little flip book with me.
I think it's the D20.
D20s only, I believe.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You don't have to maintain concentration.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's fine. 12 points of damage. It'll do.
So you hit her.
What is that? That actually hurts.
She takes out the arrow and snaps it in two.
What a bitch. And then I'll try for my second one on her as well.
Okay. That is also a hit. Roll damage.
8 plus 2. Wow, that is not what I wanted at all.
Yeah, that's a fuck.
3d8 underscore 2. And then 1d.
Yeah. There we go.
You fire another one. This one hits her more around her heart area. And she screams out in agony. 23. And she goes. She takes out that arrow and snaps it in two as well.
Ruining so many of my arrows.
Okay. Are you going to move anywhere, Arrabella?
I'm debating jumping into the vegetable patch, if I'm completely honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll jump into the vegetable patch. And that's all of my movement used.
You're now surrounded by rotten pumpkins and tomatoes.
Yep.
Bellatrix, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna just go there and use my glaive.
Yep.
On fire. $22 a hit.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
Oh.
So you do strike her, but you get the sense that it doesn't hurt her that much.
Yeah, I figured as much. That's all I can do. I'm gonna try again.
Forever. Sorry.
Stop it!
Okay. Yep, and your third and final attack?
The bonus action attack. Cool.
Hit.
Oh, that's a different dice. That's a d4 plus 5.
So you unleash a wave of torrents of strikes against her. Now you hit her as hard as you could, but you just get the sense that it just doesn't have much of an effect on her.
Yeah, I didn't think as much. I'm gonna.
It's hurt her, and boy, is she pissed off. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go back there.
Right, so. What's the range on that? 90 feet. Right, Alright. She is going to cast a spell. I need to roll 5d8. The spell is centered over here, so it's going to affect Arrabella. No, sorry, she casts it there. That can hit Arrabella, Rennas, and Otti.
And I am.
How does she even know I'm there? I'm behind a fucking building.
It's an area of effect, and she can see it because her passive perception is stupidly high.
Yeah, but it's AOE. That's fine. But the other one can't see me, surely, because there's a building in the way.
But eyes bend around corners. Don't question it.
Okay.
Hey, all we can see is the roof.
Yeah. She's casting it on me as well, and I seem to be the only one with a weapon that can actually hurt her at the moment, other than Corgi.
I mean, it makes sense to target you, to be fair.
Arrabella, you fall to the ground.
Okay. I am down.
You haven't lost your hit points, you've just fallen to the ground. I'll explain why just a bit.
Oh, and I'm going to be smelling lovely of tomatoes and pumpkins now.
Delicious.
Rennas, you also fall to the ground. And the remaining damage left is not enough to affect Otti. She's cast sleep on you two, so you're both asleep at the moment.
Half elves.
No, half elves get it against charmed. I don't think they get anything like sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, is it full elves?
Yeah.
It's full elves who can't be put to sleep
That's
through magic.
Warforged.
And Warforged as well, yeah.
Yeah, they're machines.
So,
I really want to play Warforged.
So do I get a save against that or anything on my turn, or?
No. Unfortunately, you're asleep until you either take damage, somebody uses an action to shake or slap you awake.
Okie doke, I'll put my feet back up and chill out. Why is it always just before my turn? I don't want to wait the entire turn order and then go back to sleep.
Because you deal tremendous amounts of damage, and they understand it.
I deal no damage. Yeah, I know. No, it's all good.
Alright, so that is fast turn, and then she is going to go. You've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Right, Rennas, you are asleep. It's Foe's turn.
Oh man.
Right. Foe is going to come to you, Loic.
Did try to bash her into the swamp.
She is going to. Can you make a Wisdom saving throw? She's using the second level spell slot that they have.
Sure. Nice.
You are held as she casts Hold Person on you. So you are effectively paralyzed. You can repeat this. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn. From now until then, you are paralyzed. And as she starts, she's going to say she's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She's going to go right up to you and she goes,
Oh, I'm going to have some fun with you.
Ew.
Not creepy or pedo at all.
Ew.
Verity, your turn.
Okay, who's looking the most hurt out of the two hags left?
They're both looking a bit equal. Far is naturally more healthier than Foe, but she's taking more damage.
Okay, I'm just gonna fireball. Far's the purple one, right?
Far's the furthest one, yeah.
Oh, I'll just give her a firebolt then.
Okay, make a ranged attack, spell attack, please. That is a hit. Roll damage.
Nice.
Oof. Alright, so you hit her with the fire, and it does burn away some of her clothing, but you can see where the skin remains, it's barely been affected. She seems to have resistance to fire.
What a beach.
Resistance to fire?
Mm-hmm.
She seems to have resistance to fire.
Hellish resistance.
Right. And that's all I can do.
Alright, you're not going to move anywhere?
Oh, no. I'm
Okay.
just further back so I'm out of range of shit.
Korgrin, it's your turn.
I'd like to move my hammer to there, please.
To where, sorry?
There, please. 20 foot really isn't very far. And... Fucking shite. I'd like to...
Oh!
Third level guiding bolt far.
Ooh.
Depending on the roll, I might use my plus 10, so you'll have to bear with. So let's roll a spell attack. I'm going to add 10 to that.
That brings it up to 25.
Okay.
So that will hit her.
Fantastic.
Nice.
21 points of radiant damage. So a bolt goes streaking across the battlefield, emanating from Korgrin's hands. As soon as it hits far. She doesn't seem to have any resistance to that, and now she's glowing quite evidently where the divine energy has hit her. She's clutching her chest and goes,
How bothersome.
Look at her booty.
That's what my mother used to call me. Bothersome. Fuck you.
okay, are you going to do anything else, Korgrin? You going to move anywhere?
I'm going to take 2 steps back.
Alright, Loic, can you repeat your wisdom saving throw, please?
I have proficient. Oh man, same number.
You are still paralysed. Otti, it's your turn.
Jack, just a quick one. My apologies. I should know this about my own race, but I can't be put to sleep by magic, even as a half elf.
I thought half elves.
I've just looked it up in the PHP. Even half elves can't be put to sleep by magic.
Well, then, knowing that, the effect on you is not. You are no longer put to sleep. I'll give you a go. Otti, the spell would have immediately went to you. You would have went to sleep. You would have fallen 10 feet.
Sorry. I mean, I should have known that. I would just.
So, Otti, you would have taken 5 points of falling
Wait, the damage would have woken her up.
Yeah, she would have woken up.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, so she'd put to sleep.
Yeah.
The fall damage would have woken her up instantly.
Yeah, exactly. So you are on the ground. I think.
What a couple of seconds. What?
I would say the fly still works on you because it's a wild magic mode. Anyway, so Rennas, you can take your turn then.
Okie doke. Well, in that case, I will run down to Arri. And bonus action, fast hands, give her a quick shake.
Yep.
Just imagine how fast I would actually be with fast hands.
And then I will step over you.
Sorry.
2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll take a pop at that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about normal.
Imagine
my surprise. Oh well, I woke someone up. I did something half useful.
All right, Otti, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to go up 5 foot. I'm going to chromatic orb this witch here.
Okay, make a ranged attack.
Witch, bitch. Knob in the basket.
That is a hit. Roll damage.
So it's going to be fire damage. 15.
Okay, so she strike out. Yeah! As you can see, she's taken quite a lot of damage now, but she's still standing.
Okay, and then I'm going to fly over. Shut up. Over here. I'm going to fly here.
Okay. Right, Bellatrix, it's your turn.
No, it's not. Don't be mean.
Oh yeah,
I'm
no,
awake now.
Arrabella turn. I need to stop clicking. So Arri's turn.
No, it's no problem. So I'll use 10 feet, like half my movement, to stand up. be a bit disgusted that I'm covered in rotten pumpkin and tomato, and then I'll move 5, 10, 15, so that would take me to my 25 movement, and I'm going to go for far with my fiend bow, and I'm gonna be fuming that she put me to sleep.
Do you have advantage on guiding bolt?
Oh, by the way, when you fell asleep, I would have said your hunter's mark vanishes because you lost concentration.
Okay, I'll bonus action put it on her then.
No worries. I just want to do that clarification.
Oh.
So the first one, so that hits.
So it was an advantage thing because of guiding bolt.
That's right. Yeah.
So 3d8 plus 2, and then roll 1d6.
So that's 19 points of damage against her. She looks pretty hurt now, actually.
That bow, though.
Second attack.
That is also a hit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then 27 points of damage.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. She falls down to 1 minute. Damn it.
That's what bitches get for putting me to sleep.
Okay. Alright, Bellatrix, it's your turn.
You ready for these meager attacks compared to that? I'm gonna sling the alarm.
Who are you throwing it at, far or foe?
Far.
Okay, make the attack roll.
Let's fuck her up. 7.
That is a hit, roll damage.
1d4 plus 6.
She's clutching her face where she got hit with a rock. Yeah, she's looking real hurt.
I'm gonna yeet another rock at her.
Jesus Christ, you guys are rolling so high. Where was this last session?
I know. It's balancing out.
Oh, there we go.
That's another 7 points of damage. Okay. She coughs out some blood.
Oh no, I made her angry.
Right. It's her turn. She looks at all of it.
Loic.
Oh.
The Observer. It's Ezekiel. He cares nothing for you. Your devotion to him.
And she reaches inside the green flame and clutches the stone slat that's inside there. Pulls it out.
Will be your undoing.
She waves her hand and she casts plane shift on herself and she disappears.
Oh, fucking hell!
Oh. Oh.
Taking the slab with her. Foe is immediately like,
No!
she looks pretty worried that she's been left alone now. Rennas, it's your turn.
That seemed to go very, very quickly.
You guys do shit.
Oh, of course, yes, miss a turn. That's why. Yeah, no, of course, that makes sense. Yeah. In that case, I shall pop off a shot with my short bow.
That is a miss.
I will try that I fucking suck ass and can't hit fucking anything, and I will go behind the house and I will try and hide, which I may or may not be able to do either. Worst rogue ever.
That is not how I spelled that.
No, I spelt it as Ezekiel.
Oh, I might actually be hidden.
Same.
You are successfully hidden from her.
About freaking time. Okie doke,
Right.
that's me.
Foe's turn. Foe is worried. She can no longer use she can no longer use the hag covens. Alright, so no understanding her predicament at the moment, she is going to disappear on the spot. Okay, Verity, it's your turn.
Anyone have a bag of flour?
Did she plane shift as well, or did she look like
She did not plane shift. Go ahead and make a straight up intelligence check for me,
Young Misty Step.
4 invisible.
You don't really know what she did. She was a bit too far away to sort of really see what she
No!
did.
She was foe! The other
Yeah,
one
foe.
was far.
Ha 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 ha. Alright. But you guys are still in combat order. So what do you want to do, Verity?
Can I just show a firebolt over there at disadvantage? Like, was that one resistant to fire as well, or was she...
Pardon?
Otti used fire on that one, don't she?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
right, and it hurt her. So
Okay. Can I just do a
if you're gonna use
disadvantage one over there?
if you're gonna use firebolt, please show me where you're going to shoot it.
Like over here, roughly in
Okay.
fair.
Alright, so make the attack roll.
Am I doing it at disadvantage or?
Yes, it would be disadvantage. You can't see it. Alright, so you fire. You hit the ground area. It doesn't look like she was in that particular spot.
I'm just gonna.
Right.
No, you guys got this.
Korgrin, it's your turn.
Is it?
No one got fed.
Which you can see. Okay. So I would like to move my hammer.
Yep.
Where was she? She was there, wasn't she?
She was there. And Verity just fired a firebolt there.
Sorry, I didn't see those pings. I don't know if you were doing them on the GM layer or something like that.
I didn't see them either.
Yeah, so she was there, and Verity just fired a firebolt there.
I'd like to move my hammer to... I'm gonna say there.
Yeah.
And I'd like to take a swing there.
Okay, make an attack roll at disadvantage, please.
Bless you.
Thank you. This is like battleships.
So the hammer swings around there, vroom, and just goes through thin air.
Blah, 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 blah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd like to move up to there.
Yeah.
And I look around. Can I see if I see grass shifting? Can I see if I see
If you want to stop your
footprints?
action doing a perception check, go ahead.
Yeah.
You can't see any grass shifting, but you do see some fine footprints in the grass leading from there to there and onwards, apparently.
Point.
Of course he's coming for me.
And can I just tell Arrabella to strange as this sounds,
Shoot at Loic.
shoot Loic.
Oh no. I deserve that.
I mean, it's Loic's turn first, so technically he should be shooting Arrabella too, but then
So,
if he's wrong, Arabella's got no health.
Or what do you say? Constitution?
So it's wisdom saving throw, please.
I'm proficient in this. Really?
That is not enough. No.
Well, at least it's a good indication she's still around.
You're still paralyzed.
Where is Arrabella on the initiative list? Far.
Oh, actually no. You were no
was
longer
just gonna
paralyzed
say,
once you
minute
became
drop.
invisible.
Yeah, I was just checking that. I was
Yeah.
just checking the
I was
concentration.
checking the trace on. So once she disappeared on the spot, you were no longer paralyzed. So you do have a turn.
Make a perception check to see if any of the grass is moving, kind of similar to what Korgrin is saying.
Yep.
It was over there-ish.
Can you mark that again, Korgrin? Sorry, I wasn't looking.
It moved from you there to kind of there, I think.
Let me see if I can see anything.
In that general
Essentially-
area.
essentially, the tracks that Korgrin has pointed out indicate that she's moving westward.
Okay. So I'm gonna take an Eldritch Blast shot with that information around there.
Okay, make an attack roll at disadvantage, please.
I'd like to add 10 to that, if I may.
Ooh.
Is that a reaction you can use?
Ooh, let me check distance. Yes, I can.
Ooh.
Okay, so you'll bring that to 21. Okay. Hey, indeed.
Nice.
Very good, very good. So, that brings it to 21. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh yeah, coming right up.
How much did you damage that grass?
You shoot Rennas, it kills him.
Yay!
So, as you fire an Eldritch Blast over there, vroom, 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 it strikes something. And it dispels her invisibility.
Right, second Eldritch Blast.
And she is blasted back 10 feet that way. The second one is a hit.
That's 2.
It's another 8 points of force damage. And she's blasted back another 10 feet.
To keep this
Okay.
wench alive if we can.
Was there any indication she noticed me while being blasted backwards?
Well, she has clear line of sight of you, so yes.
Oh, well, worth a try.
Otti, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to go and grapple her.
Okay. She's got
Big
plus
hugs.
4 to this.
Is it a...
An athletics check, please. So 14. So you try to grab her, but she's able to throw you off. Okay, that is your
Does that
turn.
count as an attack, or does that count as a...
That does count as an action.
Okay, that's fine.
A grappling counts as an action. Okay, Arrabella, it's your turn.
Okay, so I've been reading up Hunter's Mark, but I have no idea if my check to find her.
Oh, sorry,
Is
no,
an
she's on a different plane.
But it doesn't say anything about planes.
Yeah.
Or helicopters, or tanks.
Now got no target. You can shift it to something else.
Oh, I was hoping I could shoot her through another plane. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be very
That
cool.
would be cool and extremely game breaking.
Okay. So we want to keep her alive. Is she looking like close to death?
No,
She's
we can kill her.
She's looking very hurt, especially from those attacks with the Eldritch Blasts.
Shoot her in the knee. You'd probably still kill her.
I will be attacking her full strength. I know my full strength is pitiful, but I'll still be doing it.
Okay.
No, it does not.
I actually think... And she is successfully grappled, yeah?
Successful.
No.
Unsuccessful.
No, she's not. No, she's not grappled.
Okay, I'm attacking her then.
Okay, make the attack
Got
roll.
Jack can't hear you.
You do not have your bonuses.
Can anyone else hear him?
I can hear him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be up. BRB.
Let me put my headset back in.
I can hear you now. Problem solved.
Yeah, I'll just attack her with my bow.
Okay.
Or not.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the miss.
And I'll try again.
Okay, making another attack roll. That one's a hit. Roll damage. 5 points of damage.
Yeah, I didn't put my hunter's mark on her, and
No way.
I feel like I've been playing long enough now to not have to ask you if I can retrospectively put it on.
So did you want to put the hunter's mark to her?
I would love to, but yeah, because since there's nothing else on the field that it can go to, and it's there, I might as well.
Yeah. No worries. So
I can't hear Jacqueline trying to reload.
I do forget about these, so basically, it's more of a case of just reminding me to do it.
No, it's fine. I should say it, that because there's nothing else there, it'll just magically appear on far bow.
Okay, so you strike her. She's looking very hurt, but she's still standing.
Then I'm going to go there.
Okay. Bellatrix, it's your turn.
How far away am I? Too far.
40 foot. I thought you can make that with rage speed.
I got 40 feet. But I won't be able to try and grapple her as well. I mean, I could get there.
You would? Got 30 plus 10.
Let me zoom out a little bit. Oh yeah. How was I calculating it? Never mind. Whatever. I'll try and grapple her as well then.
Alright, she's got +4 to this.
Okay.
Oh.
Two.
Do I get advantage? Because of rage?
Yep.
Strength checks, yeah.
Cool. No doubt. Oh, are you kidding?
Oh, yes. So you try to grab her, but she is able to throw you off as well.
Okay.
Alright. So that's your turn. Rennas, it's your turn.
Slimy.
Rennas is not going to grapple her because Rennas is weak as shit. But he is going to stab her with his rapier.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Do I get advantage because Bella's next to me raging?
I believe you do, yes.
Huh?
That is a hit.
Good.
Roll damage.
I think that's the first time you made use of my advantage.
Well, I don't like to be that close, but I thought I'd take advantage of your advantage because I can't hit anything, so...
Advantageous.
How do you want to finish her?
Yes! I want to insert my rapier through her eye and out the back of her skull. As I pull it out, her eyeball is just left, sticking on the end of my rapier, which I will then flick at her lifeless corpse.
That's what you do. You put the rapier through her. You push it through a little bit further, and she just goes limp on the blade.
Does the eyeball comedically come towards Bella initially? Like on the rapier?
I do taunt Bella with it for a second before I flick it at her.
Ew!
She falls down to the ground, blood slowly seeping from her open socket.
Nasty.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
Okay, so seems that for now, Far has gotten away, but you've taken out Faye and Foe.
I think we need to take a look at that fire at some slab. I don't know anything about that, do I? I'll just shush.
She's taken
Loic, do you want to come
she's taken it with her.
The slab went with her. Okay.
Loic, do you want to come and have a look for your focus thingy, ridgey over here?
Can I find my...
find my book? That would be great. And Verity just kind of like lies down.
Verity just goes, fuck this, and just falls onto the grass.
Where are you?
And just relax.
Someone find my book.
That seems perfectly reasonable.
Most of you are quite blooded and hurt at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, can I use my last first level to cast Good Berry and give everyone a Good Berry?
Yay!
No, for the moment, you can all get 1 HP back.
Yeah, it's only 1, but it's better than nothing.
Thank you.
I'm also full for the day.
Oh, I can't be healed.
I am now a quadruped.
Thanks, though.
You can't be healed, but you are full.
Out of combat, a minute passes and the poison
A minute's
inside all your veins wears off. As does the wounding effect on Reuven, Loic even.
I have 3 more Good Berries if anybody wants to feel over full.
No, thank you.
I find my arcane component anywhere.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I swear to God, if this lady just dipped in
Kick
this...
the cauldron over.
You kick it over, and the contents spill out onto the ground. It gives a little small sizzling thing before eventually it loses its potency and becomes a gungy, non-glowing liquid. You have a good look around out here, Loic. You can't find anything that seems to have seems to be of any use, but you haven't gone inside the cabin yet.
Gotcha.
There it is.
Can I investigate the boats?
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
I don't know what I'm expecting to find in the boats, but they look quite exciting.
Yes, you may, Arri. You find 2 gold pieces. Looks like that these boats have been used relatively often. The Arcana, with the pentagram, Arrabella, with your newly acquired knowledge and grace about how arcane stuff works, you get the feeling that this was a ritual to either summon something or banish something or transmute something. Whatever it is, the focus was to be in the center, and probably has something to do with the slab that Far took with her. Once Far took the slab, the spell and the ritual became inert, and all that's left is the pentagram on the ground. It's not. Loic had a look out here, Verity, but he couldn't find them out here.
Okay, can I just translate that to Loic and just be like, okay, so this seems to be something, don't get me wrong, brand new at this. It seems to be something to summon, banish, transmute something, but it what was that slab thing that she took? Do you know what that was? Because it seems to have just completely destroyed this spell.
Verity, you can use it to detect magic if you want.
Huh?
Verity, you can use detect magic, but you don't have your ritual book at the moment, so do you have any spell slots left?
I do. I have 1 level 1 and 1 level 2.
So you'll have to use one of those
level 1 spell.
Okay. So you cast detect magic. You get a good ping from over here, but that's more of a residual effect. You get a ping from here, and you get several pings from inside the hut.
Okay. Can I just go inside the hut, gather everything that makes a ping, and drop it into a pile, and then go to the fire and figure out what that is?
I mean, I would have searched the hut anyway.
So Rennas and Verity, you go inside the hut.
Oh, I'll have my
nothing
thumb.
in your kills, Rennas, please.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Loic, get back, I'm talking to you.
Arrabella is currently discussing things with Loic, so you're not going anywhere at the moment, Loic.
Yeah, stay back there, please, mate.
Fine. All the magic stuff is yours, Verity. I'm just looking for anything valuable, as usual.
Well, like I said, detect magic's pinged on everything that has magical value, so just make sure, no traps or anything around this stuff, I guess.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I can. I'll investigate the cabin, make sure there's no traps or anything.
Go ahead and make an investigation check, please. We'll check purely for traps.
Yeah, it's fine. Not a trap inside.
Advantage with the detect magic.
Okay. Yeah, so your detect magic gets those pings. Can you roll a d20 for me, please, Verity?
Oh god, yeah. Wild magic.
Just want to see if you blow yourself up.
This is when I summon a Garistro into the cabin with me and Rennas.
Yay!
Well, this is happening outside the cabin at the moment. Oh, roll a d100, please. About to get bye, Verity. You're about to die.
Steve could be really useful right now if he can just float around and heal us all.
He would.
Also, I mean, if you could leave his horn behind.
I didn't say that, by the way. That's Zach saying that to...
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
So Rennas and Verity disappear in a fog cloud.
Cabin when this happens.
Ha! You'll never find me now. Finally, for the first time all night, I hide effectively.
So now the entrance to the hut is now covered in a thick fog, and you can't see beyond. You guys can't see into that fog.
My bad.
One of the safer ones. Okay. So, I mean, Arri and Loic, do you guys want to roleplay what you're currently discussing in the chat, and then I'll move on to the huts?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, we can.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, purely because it's faster to talk than it is to type. So.
100%. So yeah, I'm going to go back to my question of when did the Watcher tell you he wanted it destroyed? What did he tell you about it?
I had a vision, and the only reason I'm telling you this is because I basically put your guys' life on the line for me, so I deserve it to you. He told me after the battle at Greenfell Village, had a vision of them.
Let me put my headset into this here, so I should be able to hear on this side.
He said that I needed to return a slab. Knowledge of what that was previously lost to me until I saw what the witch had with her. However, these witches claim that the Watcher doesn't want what's best for me, and in fact, they claim that they could help me because he was more of a malicious force. I'm not saying I necessarily trust the Watcher, but I trust 3 crones living in the bog taking advantage of everyday citizens far less than I do the Watcher. So it's really a lesser of 2 evil situations.
Yeah, I feel like you need to tell us in the future when you're gonna, like, when you've had these little conversations with your Watcher, and let us know what it's about them, because, like, we probably all would have paid a lot more attention to that slab if we'd known that it was important. Like, I literally didn't know a thing about it until I came over to check this circle.
I don't think we saw the slab, to be fair. Oh, I'm not there. Sorry, but
until it got picked up.
I'll tell you guys what I feel you need to know, because I don't necessarily know if you're all willing to help me with what I've got going on. But in the future, I should be more open with.
Just a bit. Like, I feel like we've had this. I can't remember what it was about, but I feel like we had this connection at some point over like the last couple of days, and I just remember like it completely evades me what the hell the thing was. But like, I feel like we had this thing. And so, like, even if you don't tell the rest, just promise to tell me.
I'll talk to you about it. I've been talking to Korgrin about it, but I can tell you're someone who would do the right thing if it was presented to her, even if it was a hard choice.
I can even be someone to sound off to, just to get those words out there so you can think about it a bit more, and maybe just give you another opinion. Like,
and if something happens to me, then people at least know. That being said, the leader of the hags said a name that I've never heard before. That name was Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Does that mean... Jack, does that name mean anything to me? Probably not.
Make a history check.
Also, I should ask Jack. I'm assuming, because I haven't heard it before, but have I read anything about that name in my study in the capital?
You don't know. Meanwhile, Loic, Korgrin comes up behind you and smacks you across over the back.
No, I'm still sitting where I am. My magic hammer does that.
Oh, sorry.
What the fuck is wrong with this hammer?
So you have the hammer smacks you over the head and you take 7 points of damage.
Jesus!
What was that for, Korgrin?
You feel we should know? Did not 2 of us nearly die for what you felt we didn't need to know?
I understand that, but
did you hear any of that? I don't even know where you are.
On the pier, sitting there.
So, did you hear any of that conversation then?
I'm assuming so. You're only a few feet away.
You guys weren't being particularly quiet about it. So.
I'll tell you everything that he allows me to tell you. That's the best I can do.
We can get back to that. Meanwhile, I just want to move on to the hut at the moment. So
Verity's taking up vaping.
Vape Nation.
You walk inside, and inside the hag's hut is a grisly scene. The bones and fleshy remains of animals.
Because there's a fog cloud everywhere.
The bones and fleshy remains of animals and children line the walls. Jars filled with pickled eyeballs, rats, organs, and general decay are on the shelves. And a shrine to whatever foul magic they practice is at the far end of the hut. The smell is awful, like bloated maggots and rotting meat. There's a small cupboard in the corner, and there are various items around, including a sack by the shrine. That sack is giving you a ping, by the way.
Is that the only thing giving me a ping?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
Can I destroy the shrine? Just like stick my rapier and just brush everything off, whatever it is. Just.
So you just take your rapier and just brush all the candles off all the little totems, and they just fall down onto the ground.
Okay.
and consider it thoroughly defaced.
So I pick up the sack. Can I just like take a quick glance to see if the focus and the ritual book are in there?
Yeah, so actually, can you go both make investigation checks for me now that you're inside the hut?
Just regular ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Verity, that's a nice sack you have. Rennas, looking around briefly, you do in fact find the book that belongs to Verity and the arcane focus that Loic uses. It's on board a table along with a bunch of other seemingly worthless trinkets.
I take everything, including the trinkets.
Okay, so yeah, that's what you have. Go ahead and roll 2d100, please.
And I just have the sack. Nice.
Big is the sack. That I know, but in terms of like,
think of it like a hobo sack.
That's cool.
Like one of those sandbag things.
Yeah.
79 and 36.
Probably.
Okay. I'm gonna chuck the sack to Rennas and just be like, careful, this is magic. I'm gonna start taking the kids down and I
obviously return Verity's ritual book to her.
Just gonna start taking the kids down and getting them outside, ready to bury them or something like that. I don't know, sentimental shit.
So Rennas, you have picked up a seemingly a party invitation.
See you guys, I'm going to a party.
A vest with 100 tiny little pockets.
That sounds useful.
Perfect little vest for you.
The invitation appears to have been for the play that was on this evening.
Oh, but I've already been to it.
So Verity, with that sack in your hand, you have a look at it. Can you just go ahead and make a quick Arcana check for me, please?
Okay.
You recognize this. This
bag of holding
is a bag of holding.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So
you got a bag of holding, but I've got a vest of 100 pockets.
I got a jar of dirt.
Alright, I guess I'm just gonna tuck it into my belt or something for now, and I'm
it's pretty big. It you basically just hang it over your back, essentially.
Well,
and put everything inside it ever.
Those, large sandbags, essentially.
I just want to have it hanging off me for now, so I can start getting these kids off the wall and taking them outside. And I'm soon being surrounded by this fog cloud. People are just going to see this cloud coming in and out of the hut, and every time it goes in, another child is left on the floor dead.
So after a few minutes, you see Verity walking out with seemingly very small body parts, and she starts putting them into the various holes that have been created for the general explosions that have happened in the battle.
Burying them, right?
Yeah, putting them in the holes and then putting the dirt over them to bury them.
I'm trying to be sentimental about it, but I'm not,
There's sentimentality and there's practicality.
So, Rennas, your eyes naturally wander around, and it looks like there's just one big bed, and apparently maybe all those hags shared that bed. It is a fucking awful sight. It honestly looks like someone died in it.
Not even Rennas is desperate enough for loot to check that bed.
There is still a cupboard that hasn't been checked.
I'll check the cupboard.
Okay.
Also,
I'll instantly go up and open it immediately without looking for any traps.
So you open the cupboard, You open the small cupboard, and when it's open, it's actually probably the most cleanest area. The most neatest and tidiest of it.
I take a deep breath from inside the cupboard and just the freshest air I've had all day.
not something you can walk in. Think of it like an open vanity. Inside is a collection of little shoes and mittens. Small enough.
Child murderers.
Small enough for very young children.
You didn't get that from the child parts everywhere?
Well, you can buy them. You can't buy child shoes anywhere. That's just not possible.
There are dozens of them, if not 100.
It's all the left.
Do any of them look valuable?
Pardon?
Do any of them look valuable?
Maybe to the parents of them.
Fine, I suppose I'll take them all and try and track down the parents.
I'm sorry, I actually have to sort of kind of override you there. Rennas has never ever shown it. I know Rennas is a bit of a trickster and a bit of a rogue, but the way you've displayed him is that even he would be appalled at this kind of collection.
He would be, but he wouldn't want anyone else to know that he would be, so he has to put on a front.
Yeah. But you haven't shown that collection to anyone. You've just opened it, and it's there. You can just literally just close it again and just tell other people don't look in there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do.
So while the detect magic is up, I'm going up close to where that fire where there was a ping. I'm just taking a look there.
The magic is no longer functioning from there because Korgrin not tipped it over.
Oh. Cool. Then I guess I'm just burying child parts and I'm just like, Corgi, you do funeral things, right?
From time to time, aye. Why?
There's a few children that might be in need.
I get up and I trudge over and
I'm trying to make them look like, whole and decent in the holes.
Unfortunately,
there's some clothes in the cupboard that would help.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot left of them. What is left is
just like bury what you can at this point. There's a shoe, there's a foot, there's a hand.
Lack of the better parts of turn, what's left is basically just trophies.
I'd start burying those at least and saying a quick Moradin after each one is covered up. And
Verity is the most magical person I know. We need to work out how to follow that hag bitch through this portal because she needs to die.
There was no portal.
Can't do that.
Well, to Rennas' eyes, there was a portal. He doesn't understand magic. It's all weird to him.
Then, last ping, am I getting anything from the water?
You are, actually.
Can I just, kind of touch the water lightly to see if it's, toxic or anything, or affects my skin?
I didn't see that.
It has a sickening green glow. Oh, hold on. It has a sickening green glow, but it might just be the color. It looks like just regular water.
Can I just touch it to see if it reacts to my skin? Does it burn me or anything?
No, it doesn't burn you. It's just wet.
Where am I getting the ping from?
There.
Where I've been clicking for the last 30 seconds.
Sorry, I didn't have my screen. Can I cast my last level 2 alter self? Give myself gills and go look.
Ooh.
Yep. Okay.
I have gloves of
you
swimming
now
if
have
you want.
gills and you jump in there. As soon as you get underneath the water, it's pitch black. Can you make a perception check at disadvantage, please?
Okay. Just gonna be following the detect magic ping. Perception, yeah, at disadvantage.
Yeah.
But I can go and help her with dark vision and gloves of swimming.
You don't know gloves of swimming.
Well, the gloves of climbing, I know that now because I climbed.
Okay, so once you jump in there, you can see that there's a bit of a bed that goes maybe about 15 feet below the surface. However, there appears to be scraggly kind of things underneath. There are tufts of seaweed, and in those tufts of seaweed, you get the feeling that you can just about make out some kind of shape, some kind of fleshy substance.
Is it where I'm getting this detect magic?
Yes.
Can I just grab the thing that seems magical and drag it out with me?
Okay, so what you have to do is you'll have to swim down, go into the seaweed, and get it and come out.
Okay, I'm just gonna pop up, let whoever's closest know what I'm doing, I'm going down.
So Verity emerges from the surface, and you see Loic and Rennas on the pier before you.
Okay, so we give her like 30 seconds. If she's not back up within 30 seconds, we're going in after her.
At that
In
point,
fact, I'll have Toby up
she's
ahead.
out from the surface.
Okay.
So Verity is there.
I guess I'll grab it. Just, I found something, but seaweed. You can never be sure. I'm just gonna try and grab it.
Okay.
I can breathe
So
under
you-
here, so don't
Yeah,
worry about me suffocating.
we'll still come down in like 30 seconds or a minute if you're not back.
Okay.
In case you get trapped.
Okay.
Okay. So you go back beneath the surface, and you swim down to the seaweed, following the ping of the map. Are you going to the thing as you're getting closer to it? You can definitely tell it is something alive. Do you want to try and sneak past it?
Yeah.
Because you're not generating any light at the moment, so therefore you're not instantly seeable.
Yeah,
So go
like
make a stealth check.
I'm pretty sure with the Alter Self, if I do like the whole underwater shit, my swim speed just becomes natural. So
Yeah.
So just a general stealth check.
Yes, that's right.
Why do I feel like this? I'm fucked. Oh fuck!
Okay.
Can I do Tides of Chaos on this?
Have you already used it today?
Yeah, but you made me roll Wild Magic, which resets it.
Oh yes. Okay.
So either I roll Wild Magic or Long Rest. But I have to do it before I make. The roll,
I
so
think don't I give you an offer for that then? Wild Magic, sir. Alright, so I can make you I can choose whether to make you throw the Wild Magic Surge table. Yeah. Okay. That's good clarification for that one. Alright, so go ahead and give yourself advantage on that stealth roll.
Sorry.
Okay. So, you swim down, and it seems that it hasn't noticed you for now. You go forward, sifting through the seaweeds.
I'm just a little fish. Don't notice me. Blip, blip, blip.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Can I get? I know it's. Can you make one final perception check with advantage because of the pinging, please?
With the advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Perception.
Yes, that's right. Okay. So you see a small little box, half buried in dirt, and you as you get to it, you sift it about a little bit, and it's reasonably light. You can just actually pick it up with one hand, and you start making your way towards the surface, and that is when you notice that the thing that you saw is gone.
I'm out. Out.
Okay. Bear with me just a moment, please. I just got to get
movement and then action to dash.
So if things get hairy, I'm going to go do a cannonball right there.
Like,
Try to distract
what I'm
whatever it is.
thinking is that my alter self is maybe look like that creature from the deep. Like green fish person. Wait, am I still bold?
Yeah.
Or not many fish. I mean, I'm not really a fish, are you?
This whole thing has happened because you're bold. Whilst you're bold, so.
Worst hairdresser ever, Bella.
You're next, bitch. Come here.
No, I'm well game for that because I've found a much better avatar that I love. Well game for that.
So you break the surface of the water, and Rennas and Loic, you can see her there. She seems to have a box in her hand, and she's swimming towards the pier. very quickly. And as Verity, as you're swimming as fast as you can towards the pier, you feel something brush against your leg.
It's on my leg! Ah!
It's hoping it's just seaweed.
Can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
I just saw Chad.
Oh!
Right. So, just as you're able to get to it, just as you're able to get to the side, you feel something squiggly, something like very squishy wrap around your leg, and you're like, no, and you swim as fast as you can, and you get out of there just in time to see a tentacle burst out from the water.
Ew.
It is huge. It's about 7 or 8 feet long. It sort of wanders for a moment there, and then slowly withdraws back beneath the surface, making a final little beneath the water. And the water is once again calm, as if nothing has even disturbed it.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I had a box now.
So you have
I'm
the
just
box.
going to sit here remaining a fish person for a little while.
Inside you find a hand fan.
A what?
Well, one of those little hand fans that sort of connects and up and like that. You can sort of wave yourself a little bit. It's got a pretty intricate design. It has petals on the edges of it with bluish gusts of, well, this appears to be air sort of spiraled across the actual design of the fan itself.
Cool. I'll take a look at this stuff later. I'll be done for now. I'll just sit down with this stuff and just be like, with my sack and my box.
Okay. So, Otti and Bellatrix, what have you guys been up to?
We've been playing Cat's Cradle, like in the corner, and it got into a bit of a mess. Yeah, and it got into a bit of a mess. It's the string game.
She's gesturing with her hands to show you what she means while not on camera. It's quite amusing.
It's like a little string game that like intelligent people play. Yeah. And it got stuck around Bella's hand.
No, have I.
But I probably would be going as. But I'm probably going to make sure that Arri's alright because she's by herself.
Oh, thank you.
You're right. What's she doing? Yeah, it's like in her hair. It was stuck around her hand and her arm at some point. And
so you just ditched Bella as she's tied up, essentially.
Oh, come over,
yep,
like,
pretty much.
Guys, hello.
And I just kind of get my dagger and like untie Bella, and I'm like, I'm just getting used to this whole understanding magic thing. This is a fucked up circle.
No, that's
okay.
Rennas, you mind pass me back my my little instrument right there?
Yes, here you go. Let me just flick it over. I don't know what it is, but hey. Yeah, that's Cat's Cradle, Jack. What Verity's doing. That's Cat's Cradle, what Verity's doing.
That's how it's supposed to look.
Oh, okay.
Bella got it in her hair somehow.
I think I saw that when I was in, primary school.
Yeah. It's a thing that most of us did, just kind of like, all the hand thing, the finger thing.
I did the second one!
Well, consider me as somebody who's learned something.
So this circle, is this made of stone?
There is stone around the circle, yes. The star itself, it was created by a scorching flame that was created from the air and burns the grass to create the sigil.
Does anything happen if you stand in the middle of it? Rennas asks seconds before he walks into the middle of it.
No. Whatever it was, the magic is now inert.
Damn it. I mean, not really damn it. I can't really afford to follow right now. I'm dead.
Alright, I'm going to pick up pretty much every stone around this circle.
Give them to Bella for her sling the alarm. I mean,
okay, so you pick up all the stones around the circle, and generally seems to be okay.
Which stones in a sling? They've got to do more damage.
Obviously.
No, they're just regular stones.
Well, we're going to use them anyway.
So I'm going to try and pick up a bit of the grass. Is the sign still in the grass? Is it actually in the ground?
Like it was burned into the grass itself.
Okay. I want to dig up this corner.
Okay. So you start digging
Just
it up.
Just digging it up with my hands, proper ripping at the ground. There's dirt all over my face. It is in Bella's hair, if you're that far away.
The ground itself is actually reasonably soft, so you're able to do so. You can probably get about a foot, feet into the dirt. You don't find
I just want to remove this sigil in the ground.
Okay, so
the fact they were all around it.
You'll spend about 5 minutes essentially just removing all traces that the sigil is there.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
I get the feeling I'm going to get hit.
That's gone after a minute, so.
What magical weapon?
Exactly. It's gone.
Exactly. You have no memory of this dagger at all.
Oh, she means my hammer.
No, the spiritual weapon.
Spiritual weapon? Oh, that disappeared after a minute.
Yeah. No, it's just still there on the map, and I'm like, I really want to touch it. So.
It would have a physical presence about it, almost like jello.
That doesn't sound very damaging.
It only gets really hard if it hits something it doesn't like.
Okay.
So it'd go
Everyone else is like jello. It's a weird feeling.
I imagine it'd probably rock hard under my hands.
Right. So, Rennas.
Not touching that with a barge pole.
Do you give back Verity her ritual book?
I do, yes. Verity has her ritual book back. Loic has his focus back.
Okay. So
what is your focus, by the way? Because I'm passing it over to you, and I'm just I don't even know what this is. Boop.
I have no idea. What can you have for a focus?
I assumed that your focus was essentially a necklace of the sigil of the observer.
I actually never thought about it, but yeah, that sounds perfect.
How about a giant eyeball?
The sigil of the observer is actually an eyeball that is covered with mist and cloak.
Oh yeah,
okay. Kind of a triangle fashion. The center of it has a circular eye that is whisked over with almost a perpetual misty kind of feeling, so you just don't get a proper look at it.
Just as I pass it back, I'm like, this is just creepy as fuck, dude. But here you go.
And Rennas is the only one who's aware of what's in the cupboard, so. And it's up to
Yeah. Don't go in that cupboard, guys. There's nothing useful, and it's just not pleasant. Nightmares will be had.
Now, Korgrin, purely because of your age, Korgrin, and Arrabella, purely because you are now proficient in it, can I get Arcana checks from both of you in regards to hags' behaviour? Okay. So.
Isn't Loic proficient as well?
What?
Loic, are you proficient in Arcana?
Oh, I'm also in Arcana.
And take a look.
Yeah,
I declare proficiency. That's not how it works.
I leveled up. I'm multi-classed.
No, it was more of an office joke, but.
Yeah.
You asked one.
Bella, you're not proficient in Arcana, are you?
I am since leveling up.
How comes you've only got a +1 to it then?
Because I'm shit with intelligence.
Because it should be a -2.
Yeah, it should be.
So then you would have gained your proficiency, your understanding of arcane knowledge when everybody was blasted by that by the divine aura from Grace. So it altered your mind in a specific way that you just now have access to information you just didn't know you had before.
I'm still not very good at it though.
But in any case, so everybody, you guys know that hags represent all that is evil and cruel. Though they resemble withered crones, there is nothing mortal about these monstrous creatures whose forms reflect only the wickedness in their hearts. They originate from the Feywilds, but they were essentially cast out for essentially being too evil. They propagate by snatching and devouring human infants. After stealing a baby from its cradle or its mother's womb, the hag consumes the poor child, and a week later the hag gives birth to a daughter who looks human until her 13th birthday, whereupon the child transforms into the spitting image of her hag mother. They do this because they like the despair that they give to people, because they just are awful, awful people.
Yeah, that was going to be why I said when I got a chance I was going to behead both hags.
Yeah.
Just have them on my belt.
I poked Ryan.
They like to make deals, and most deals tend to end badly for someone.
So each baby they consume, they give birth.
Create a new baby, or they can just consume the baby for food, or just for evil's sake.
So there's potentially many hag babies out there that haven't reached their 30th birthday.
For shits and giggles.
Hags are pretty prevalent across the world, but they know that they are hunted, so they generally hide in populations. If the local guard or even the knights became aware of a hag, they would endeavour to hunt that hag down and remove her.
They tried, but holy cow!
There's literally no reasonable people would want to have a hag around anywhere. There's literally disgusting creatures.
Okay.
So, what would you guys like to do from here?
What 2 heads do I need to add to my inventory?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
What 2 heads do I need to add to my inventory for beheading the hag there and the hag there?
That will be a sea hag and a green hag.
Thank you.
I guess we go back to our shit and again, try and finish the tribute.
Yeah, once again, finally trying to deliver this fucking wagon.
Just imagine like the entire party is like super solemn, sitting in a circle with all their fucking play makeup on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you still have the makeup on. You got out of the outfits. Otherwise, Bella would have had that entire fight in a giant tree outfit.
I definitely still have my priest outfit though, and that is well getting abused next expensive looking church I get to. Turn away, Korgrin. Turn away.
So, are you guys going to make your way back to the carts immediately?
I feel like it might be smart to take like maybe even 10-15 minutes just to rest.
It'd have to be an hour for
short rest would be an hour.
Okay, I mean, we are pretty knackered. I don't know if you're using that word correctly.
But I mean, not that. All we did, we walked 15 minutes here from the playhouse, and our wagons are at the playhouse, are they not?
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm game for a 15-minute walk back. Surely. I mean, it was through a town. It's not as though it was a massive war zone or anything.
Sure.
I guess, yeah.
We need to go and tell the town that all these that what we found out here. We need to be telling them so they can come. They can investigate themselves if they're missing anyone.
It's the heads.
It may be a waste, but I'm happy to cast a Pass Without Trace for our walk back to the town. Like, it may be a waste, but it...
Yeah, the chances are when we get back to town we can sleep, so that's not really a waste. So that sounds good. Oh yeah, I definitely need to plug my PC in.
Like, there's not not a
Can I get
definite that
stealth-
there's going to be
All right,
something.
so you guys start making your way backwards. Can I get stealth checks from everybody, please?
We're making our way through
the bag of
town.
holding?
Would it make
Sorry, what
sense
do you
for
do,
Otti, who should have the bag of holding? Wouldn't it make sense for Otti to have it since she's kind of...
Oh yeah, you are the treasurer.
Yeah, she's the treasurer, so everything can just get whacked in there.
Okay, so I just go up to Otti and I'm like, for you, a potato sack. Don't get in it.
Don't get in it, don't put anyone in it.
I'm still
Don't
with
even
36.
think about it. It's not funny if you put me in it, thank you. I don't want to get dismembered by a bag.
It's a boring colour anyway. I'm not impressed and just shove it in the bottom of the bag. Like, yeah, fine, whatever.
I mean, it has almost infinite space inside it, but sure.
Okay. Who are missing stealth from someone?
Loic.
Gotcha, coming up. Sorry. Still.
And Otti.
Nice.
That's a natural one for Moti.
Yep.
So, you guys start making your way back through the dead trees. And try as you might, even with the magic happening from Arrabella, it can't diminish the echoing clang, clang, clang coming from Otti's armor. And each step she takes, she just looks guiltier and guiltier.
Oh no, I'm pretending that I'm not making this. I'm like looking around like, who's making all this noise? What's going on? Why is this noise coming from me? I don't think so, just keep moving.
I'm trying to stealth, guys, come on! Alright, so... Eventually you make your way back to Bluetown. Apparently free of any anything following you, anything nasty, any bad stuff happening essentially. So you find the carriage drivers are there. They look at you when you get back and say, "All right, for the last time, can we stop making bloody? Oh my! What in the world happened to you? You look like you're doing for the mill."
You definitely shouldn't gob off at us. We're not in a good mood.
Wait,
sack of shit. Just drive the cart. Sack of dirt.
Look at the heads that you present.
Jesus,
like, what the fuck are they?
Come on, we're out here.
These are the heads of the last people that questioned us.
All right then. Well, I'd say it's an improvement if that's their head. I hate to see what their body looks like. Ugh. You want to carry those around with you everywhere, buddy?
No, I'm actually going to look for a guard to point me to some kind of sheriff or mayor so I can at least throw them on their desk instead.
I don't know. I ain't seen anyone. I ain't seen any of them around there. I think this is more. I mean, you can go have a look, I suppose. We can keep on looking after the horses.
Must be someone in charge of the village somewhere. I'll go with you, Corgi.
I will attempt to take a short rest by the carts.
Okay.
While they're trying to turn in these heads.
So, you guys walk off and you walk around a little while. Go ahead and make an investigation check for those who are looking for a guard.
You guys think you'll need me, or can I just camp behind with Loic?
Just rest.
Yeah.
I have to lecture these guards in chain of command.
I mean, Rennas looking for guards. I don't really look for guards. It's not something I do. I hide from them.
So knowing that, Rennas gives a half-hearted look about the guards, not really actually wanting to find any. But Korgrin and Otti, after about 5 minutes, you do find somebody who's in a uniform carrying a spear. He's on the edge of town, staring out onto the western steppe roads. Looks like he's just sort of nodding off on the spot at the moment.
I want to make him jump. I want to make him jump. He's not supposed to be doing that. Thank God for that.
Sorry. Don't scare the guard like that. That's very naughty of you.
But you shouldn't be sleeping when you're on post. You should know this. How long have you been guarding?
3 months.
That's gone. How long?
3 months.
You should know better by now. 3 months is a long time. You could be dead by now. Somebody could have snuck up with you and killed you.
Bloody hell, where the hell did you come from, lady?
I'm going to point at one of the hags and be like, they could have killed you!
Jesus Christ, what the hell are they?
Nanya, who's in charge?
Oh, that'll be Captain Gavin.
Direction?
He's, well, there's only 5 guards around here, so he's not, we call him Captain, he's really just kind of like the most senior guy around here.
And who's in charge? Do you have like a village chief, mayor? No.
This isn't really a village. It's more of like a way station with like think of like an extra on the motorway. Like it's just like buildings are popped up there for convenience.
Hey, who pays you?
Oh, the captain. What captain does, and he gets his pittance from, you know, mainly the Frostgate captain.
Ugh. I want to hand these heads in now or at the Frostgate.
We can take them to the Frostgate. We've got a bag of holding. We can just chuck them in there. I'm going to worry about them.
Well, are you looking for a reward for killing those things then?
That'd be nice.
Well, I mean, we don't have much money around there, but I'm sure the captain could scrounge up a few gold for you. You're saying that those things were in the village, were they?
Just outside, 15-minute walk. Aye.
15-minute walk where?
Point in the general direction.
Oh no, no one goes into those woods. People go missing in them woods.
And now they won't. You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, another strange coincidence. Well, shall I take you to the captain then?
No, I think you should go back to sleep because you're bloody useless.
Oh, cheers! Thanks very much.
I instantly love this guard.
Back of the head.
He does look a little slow-witted. You get the thing. He actually believes you.
I don't get sarcasm, and I got that. No, I'm just smacking the side of the head and just ignore him and just go find some around.
All right. I'm going. About 5-10 minutes later, he comes back with somebody who's clearly just woken up, slapped on the bare essentials to show that he is part of the guard, but he's mostly just dressed in a night tunic. He walks over here. He's an older man, maybe in his mid-40s or so, a bit of a scrubby look about him, a bit unshaven. Clearly got a bad case of the bed head with his brown hair, and he goes, all right. So, I'm under the impression that you have done something out in the woods.
You've cleared your little hag problem. Hag heads. This way. Hag heads.
He looks at them and his jaw just kind of drops, and he's just like, he rubs his eyes a bit, and he goes, am I fucking dreaming at the moment?
Throwing at him until it hit, and to the chest, kind of thing.
Oh, that's disgusting. Why are you picking them things up and throwing them around, buddy?
I beheaded the little fuckers.
Oh.
Can I just ask quickly, do these just look like heads of old women? Does it look like we've just murdered 2 old women and carried them? Or...
They look like the heads of the green one still has some of her long silver hair.
Okay, so they do look quite evil.
Open. Oh yeah, the mouth is lopped open. The nose is large, and she's got warts on it. She's got green skin. And the sea one, the hair's made of seaweed. The skin is blue, and the mouth is gawping and bloody and bloodstained.
Okay, we shouldn't look like OAP murderers then. That's fine. That's good.
Yeah, they look visibly horrifying, essentially.
You feel a bunch of old lady heads.
So he goes, where'd you find those then?
Again, I gesture vaguely.
So out in the woods, just like you said, buddy. Well, I had no idea we had those kinds of issues around here. But then again, even if I did know, there's not much we can do about it. There's only 5 of us around here.
There's only 7 of us.
Well, begging me pardon, sir, but you look far more capable than the sorry sods I have to look after.
You didn't just see my performance back there. My colleagues, yes. Me, no.
I'm not even their real boss. We're all the same rank. We just look after the roads.
A piss poor job of that you do. So, and we'll be on our way.
Well, I'll have you know that the roads are very, very safe. Just maybe the woods weren't. But
Want me to take you back to the little hut where there's little child bones, little knickknacks of kids, feet, hands, decrepit old corpses?
What? Child bones?
You heard?
He looks at his compatriot and goes, there have, at least for the last 50 odd years that I'm aware of in this area, there's always been reported children missing. You're telling me you found them?
And that didn't seem like something worth investigating over the last 50 years.
What's left of them, aye.
An investigation was made 30 odd years ago and nothing came up. I'm sorry, my friend, but there are more important things for the guards to look after. Bluetown is not one of them.
I'm sure the parents of those children disagree.
You just have missing children for 50 years.
My sympathies go out to them, friend. If I had enough men, I would have gone into those woods and looked for them for myself. But my job is to look after the roads, to keep the roads clear of obstacles and banditry, and that is what I do.
Glad I'm not there.
I've lost my temper with this guy, and I just like walk away, like stomp away with like crying because these guys are so arrogant, and just like nope, not doing this anymore, and go fight Bella. Bella!
I give them directions to the cabin and say, there is a cupboard inside where some of these parents might find a small bit of closure through the items inside this cupboard.
I appreciate that. I really do. And I am sorry that a no appropriate response could not be made. But there's only so much that we can do. We're just guys in uniform,
Aye, we get that.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yes, and we'll go.
Well, look, we don't get much of our pittance around there, but I can pay you 40 gold for the heads for taking care of the problem.
30 gold.
Each?
I don't even think that covers 1 gold per child.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing more I can do. I really am, and I feel for you, and I feel for these parents, and I feel for the children. But
get them to write a note to take to the front gate so
I am a
someone
private.
there can see us.
I am a simple guardsman. I'm not even a captain. They just treat me like it because I'm older. There's nothing I can do. I have no power.
And who should we inform of this? It's maybe worth more our time.
If I had to give you some ways a point, maybe Captain Frostbeard of the Frostgates.
And Frostbeard it is, and I grab the head back off him and walk off.
Well, thank you for your service to Bluetown. We won't forget it. He does say this, but you just get the feeling that that was a lot of information that was put on him, and he's not really processing it very well, and he doesn't really know what to think at the moment.
That's fair.
So you guys make your way back to the carts, and you find Otti is already there, hugging Bella, fuming and crying.
They just don't care about anyone else. They're like, oh, one little job. Really? That's not good enough. Ugh.
In the bag of holding, no one can hear them scream.
I take the bag holding out. I'm like, no, I can't do that, and put it back.
You thought about it.
Oh yeah, I thought about it. As soon as it was mentioned, I was like, no, it's fine. No, I can't do that.
What would you guys like to do?
Can I have
sleep
one
sound
last
good.
attempt at the loot?
Pardon?
I want one last attempt at the loot.
The loot.
Yes, so I've got the loot that I have no idea what it does, but it's got animal things all over it. I doubt it's going to work for me, but I'm going to have one last go, and then when it doesn't work for me, I'm just going to pass it to Bella. But I want to have a go at it first.
You didn't get anything from there.
The loot,
the loot you got a couple of games ago is a little loot. As in the actual instrument loot. The musical instrument loot, not actual loot.
The loot.
The loot is on fire! Sorry.
Hopefully not.
You want it on fire?
Yes, Verity, no. You can ritual identify on the fan. Can I get an Arcana check from Arri to try and identify?
Like, considering I got a +6, all of my rolls for Arcana have been pretty bad.
Have you seen my stealth rolls lately?
And can I get Verity, can I get an Arcana check from you, please, as well, just to see what details you identify about the fan?
Not a lot. Oh.
Okay, so I'll do Verity first. This fan has a stored kind of evocation magic within it.
Has a what?
You get an evocation magic within it. You get the feeling that when it's used, the energy within it is spent, and it needs to take a certain amount of time to regain the energy. It does look like it's viable to wear and tear, so you get the feeling that if this item could potentially be damaged to doing whatever it is that it does, making it near enough useless.
Cool. And then I go to bed.
Okay. And then with Arri, you got the lead, 14.
Can I do it with advantage if I do a little song?
No.
Well, you've got the song anyway, because I've already typed it into the chat, so...
They stole from my britches. They're stuff the britches. They wanted us dead, so we took their head. There's a check.
Nice.
But that's not a song, that's a sentence. You need to sing it.
Yeah, well, Jack has said I can't get advantage, so therefore I'm not singing it.
All you can really get out of it, Arri, is that it requires an attunement by someone who can weave magic into words.
Like a barbarian.
Yeah. So I just feel
Me
like
at 17th level, but that's a long way away.
this is not very good to me. And here you go, have a loot.
Thanks. I'm not very musically inclined, but I'll try it.
I mean, you can use it for like after your jokes, and it's like dun dun dun.
That's the best I'm going to be able to do with it. Accidentally summons animals all over the place. Ah, shit! I forgot it did that.
Okay. Alright then. So, what would you guys like to do?
Bella's going to give the loot a try.
I've already passed out in the back of the car. It's been a long day for Loic. He needs a breather.
Okay, so you start playing the lute. Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh.
Yes, I can.
Oh my god, he's gonna turn her into a chipmunk.
You give the loot blood.
No!
Wow.
You take 5 points of psychic damage as the energies within the lute overwhelm your mind. You get the feeling that you need to attune to it first.
Yeah. Don't like music. I forgot what points I was on. Whatever. I'm gonna long rest.
Bella's unconscious.
I'm just there like...
Knocked out by a loop.
You have the bag of holding.
Now I'm hugging. Now I'm hugging Bella. There, it'll be okay.
Now, because Verity gave this to you, I assume she would have explained it to you. But if you want to check what's inside the bag of holding, you turn it upside down. And
inside out.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Oh
do
shit!
that.
We didn't check what was in it, did we? Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it full of cool shit?
Do you want to turn the bag of holding?
Before we do this, is there a chance we're going to do this and a lot of children's heads are going to fall out? Think about where we found this.
There is a chance. Let's find out.
Okay.
Let's be reckless and do it.
I mean, that's not my line, to be fair. I can't really argue.
Alright, so Otti, you turn the bag inside out. Can I get you to make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh no.
Now, I'm going to make this roll. However, I've forgotten something very important. I get a +2 to that with my shield master. And if it's going to cause damage, I take no damage.
Not going to help you.
Let's try.
Purely because as soon as you turn it outside, coins start erupting from it, and you were swept off your feet and carried around with a mountain of coins.
Ah!
Rennas' eyes light up.
Okay. How far do I go?
About 10 feet. There's a lot of money.
Oh, okay.
You get the feeling that this is those hags have been around there for a long time. You get the feeling that this is just everything they just happen to collect and not bother. They weren't really bothered with money and stuff. So yeah, they just collected it and never really spent it. So I'm just gonna put into the chat what you guys have as you spend your resting period counting out all the money that you got.
Like gathering it all back up and putting it back into the bag.
Yeah.
Rennas is doing like the 2 for the bag, 1 for me, 2 for the bag, 1 for me, 2 for the bag, 1 for me.
Assuming that's a gem.
Do we know how much the pearls are worth? Like, is there a pearl worth 100 gold pieces in there?
Pearls are generally worth 100 gold pieces.
So that is potentially 5 resurrections from dear old Verity there.
And jets are generally worth the same amount as well.
Resurrections?
So roughly about 900 gold pieces worth of gems there.
Verity can resurrect this with pearls? Since when?
You also have this.
Oh, that's identify.
Identify, I only need the 1 pearl and, like...
It's Revivify, that's 300 gold diamond.
Mm-hmm.
There is a finely made bolt amongst them that Korgrin you would recognise as a non-magical +1 bolt. There are 2 potions there. Two additional potions as well. The first potion it's got a red liquid that continuously expands from a tiny bead to cover the clear liquid around it and then contracts. This is a pretty
What's that?
uncommon.
What were they?
This is an uncommon potion. Does anybody want to try and identify it?
Rennas will definitely give it a go, just for shits and giggles because he's stupid at magic.
Cast identify on it.
Okay, go ahead and make an intelligence check, please, Rennas. You take a very small sip of it, and you go, and it's reminiscent of a potion of growth.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Ew.
Ellie in the background going no.
Yes, that was Ellie in the background going no.
If you drink that potion, you gain the enlarge effect of the enlarge reduce spell for 1d4 hours with no concentration required. So Verity could become human-sized for a few hours.
Verity?
Okay.
She's only a little human.
Yeah, so I mean Arrabella, but Verity could become a regular human size. And there is one more potion. There's just a moment before I find the
PP.
I assume there's no other advantage to becoming human size.
When you get enlarged, you get a D4 for strength-based damage.
Oh.
So every weapon attack you make deals an extra 1d4.
The other potion is rose-hued with an effervescent liquid and contains one easy-to-miss bubble shaped like a heart.
Oh, fuck it, potion.
Oh, it's a love potion.
Like, Arri secretly thinks it's a really, really cute looking potion, but she doesn't let anyone know that.
Bella's gushing. She's like, it's so cute!
And there is a staff amongst them as well.
A staff?
Yeah.
Well, they can clean our house and like tidy our cars and stuff. No?
As in like the hitting staff thing.
Like a bow staff.
A yeeting stick.
I mean, I use a force staff
Take a lucky.
as my focus and, my reaction attack.
But you've also got the Umberhulk claw still attached to.
Oh, yeah.
Deal an extra 1d4 slashing, I think it was, or 1 point slashing, something like that.
No, I'd well forgot about that.
Completely forgot about that. Hold on. 1d4.
A filter of love.
From way back in the day when we were just meeting up to celebrate the coronation of the new king. And ended up in a knoll cave.
Mine's half full of knolls, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So there is who wants to try and identify the staff?
I got lucky with the potion, but the staff's all on you guys.
I'll give it a go.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check, please. You having a look at this, you know that it was probably made from something else, maybe a bladed weapon. You can see some forms of the blade are embedded in the actual wooden part of the staff to make maybe a staff that makes kind of slashing damage, but there's something else to it. You get the feeling that you might have to attune to it.
Okay, and how long can I try to attune to it?
Attuning takes about an hour to do.
That's fine. I'll happily hold it on me while we're travelling in these carts and sing to it. I really don't know.
Do you want a staff? I mean, a two-handed weapon doesn't seem useful for someone that's switching all the time.
Yeah, I get that. But then I don't really have, other than my daggers, I don't have anything that's close range.
Yeah, you've got no close combat, have you? Okay, no, that makes sense. Fair one.
Like, unless you think it'll be useful for someone else.
Well, I thought it might be useful for Bella, but it depends on how much it does, really.
I got my glaive, so...
Maybe it's better than your glaive. I don't know.
Well, staff does either 1d6 or 1d8, depending on how many hands you use.
Maybe it's not better.
Glaive's 1d10.
Okay.
Yeah, and 1d6, 1d8, that's my daggers and my scimitar there, so...
Okay.
Does Verity
So do you spend? So whilst everybody's resting, do you spend an hour to attune to it?
Unless Verity wants the staff.
Oh, that's fine.
You can pop your Umberhulk hook onto it.
Probably not. I think it was absorbed into it. I think it was magically absorbed into the staff.
Fair. Yeah, I'll attune to it then if no one else wants it.
Okay. I'm going to whisper it to you what it does.
Okay. Loic, I know you're asleep, but as a player, do you think it would have been useful for your character?
It could have been very well so, yeah. Could have been something that's right up my alley.
So you are now attuned to that weapon.
Cheers.
So when you attack, it will do magical bludgeoning damage.
Thank you.
So you can use either one hand or two hands. If you use one hand, it's a d6. If you use two hands, it's a d8.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do? Anything else you want to try to identify? Anything else you want to talk about before moving on?
I just need a rest to get all my spells back in, really.
No worries. So, Magumbo's quite happy with you guys, considering he got sold out. He happily pays the rest of you. Oh, he's already paid you all.
Yes.
But he does offer the tent, or sorry, the tent, the theatre as a place to stay for the night, as a thank you for selling out his thing. So everybody who hasn't done that yet from last session, you can add in an additional 50 gold pieces to your personal inventory. Korgrin, Loic, you got 75. I don't know if you've already added that into your thing.
Did get everything paid half up front, so it was like an extra 25.
Oh, yes, that's right. So basically everybody can add an additional 25, and then Loic...
If you haven't already.
If you haven't added 70 to your inventory, you can do so now, Loic. Or if you already added half, then add the other half.
Okay.
So, if there is nothing else, you guys spend the night in Magumbo's tent, and it's relatively peaceful. Your wounds are sore, but after the appropriate usage... yes, your hair does grow back overnight. With the appropriate usage of salves, Arrabella, the ache in your bones has finally left you, and you're no longer so immediately tired.
Okay.
And you guys get a full night's rest.
Oh, get all my spells back.
Was Marnie
Pop my spells back up.
Yep, everybody's got everything back.
I used all my potions in that fight. Does anyone have any regular healing potions I can keep on me just in case?
I've
got nothing.
I have a single minor heal potion that you can have.
I'll give you my common one as well. Here.
The what's it called? The bag of holding had 2 potions of greater healing in it, so
I just need one common on me just in case.
Take mine.
Okay.
I've got 2 personal ones on me, so who hasn't got one? Everyone's got at least one.
I don't have
Myself.
one now, but it's okay.
One.
I've just got the one, but fine really at the moment.
Can I delete you? Hello? There you go.
Okay, so you guys wake up in the morning, you have your breakfasts, you get your stuff together, and unless there's anything else you guys want to do in Blue Town or anything at all, you guys begin moving onwards. Okay,
let's go.
A very random message, Loic.
It's about the staff. Staffs can be used with decks. They are finesse, I believe.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Like decks.
So,
I don't know anything about a staff.
About a day passes until eventually you come to a T-junction in the road. So you can turn left to go towards the Frostgate, or you can continue going straight ahead towards Maltokyo. I'd just like to clarify, which direction are you guys going to go?
I think we should go to the Frostgate and finally deliver these freaking things. I do want to go to Maltokyo, but I'm hoping we can do that on the way back and we're not going to get sucked into billions of other things in the capital. But I want to get rid of these bloody wagons that we've been dragging along for what feels like a year. Yes, it's been about 5 days, but it feels like a year.
It's been longer than that by now. I think it was a 9-day journey or some shit.
Ah, fair one.
Yeah, you've got you have about a day left.
Been about a week.
So yeah, I'm up for going to the capital, getting rid of these, and calling it Maltokyo after we've been to the capital, depending on where we get dragged off to there. And after I've started the little half-elf revolution to, overthrow the oppressive bastards in the capital, of course.
Like that. My man Rennas talking some sense.
Yes, but I'm going to do it without worshipping some weird guy.
you guys turn left, and you start making your way towards Jarus Jukai. You've only got about an hour left of daylight. As you're making your way onwards, the driver says to you all, "So, ain't really any way stations around here, but it's pretty safe to camp on the side of the road. This area is heavily patrolled."
Famous last words, but okay.
So, how long do you guys want to go on for? In terms of traveling, like how far into the night do you want to go on for?
I reckon as soon as it gets to darkness, we'll stop and camp and carry on in daylight.
Right. So you start moving onwards until eventually the sun begins to set. On your last flickers of daylight, can I get perception checks from everybody, please?
Ooh.
So Korgrin and Loic, and definitely Bella, you hear the sounds of laughter, joyous laughter, chatting, maybe even music.
Kill it with fire.
Where?
Sounds like a group of people. Maybe a little bit further ahead of the trees.
Korgrin pays no heed. He's lost in thought.
Oh, I'd like to check it out if you want to check it out.
Shall we?
I mean, at least make sure they're not a threat, even though it doesn't seem like that. We don't know for sure.
Rennas hears nothing, but he'll follow you if you go off.
Yeah, I'll tell the group. It sounds like there's some music coming from up ahead. We're gonna go scope it out if you guys want to come. If anyone wants to come.
Can I click that we're traveling in the direction that we got pointed to for the Halfling camp?
In terms of the Halfling camp, it's a traveling camp, so you have no idea where they could be.
Oh, we got told they were going west, east.
Yeah, they were going west, but there's a lot of areas west.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Maybe some bandolores or some drums.
So Loic and Bella are going to go check it out. Who's going with them?
I want to go.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, I want to go.
Okay.
Korgrin will stay with the carts.
Okay. So you guys go off ahead. And as you start making your way further and further through the trees. So Korgrin is staying behind. Is anybody else staying behind?
Verity.
Verity is staying behind.
Good team.
So as you make your way through the trees, you see light ahead. Quite bright light, actually, that sort of spreads out over a reasonably large area. And you can definitely hear the sound of music being played now. Appears to be some sort of party going on. As you get further and further, you can see what looks like maybe a dozen or so tents have been set up with looks like a barn that's been disused but has now been repurposed with sort of flags and banners and all that sorts of stuff. And in the middle of this place, you can see two roaring campfires, and beside that, a table has been set up with lots of people sitting at them, eating a lot of food. You instinctively notice that the vast majority of these people are all halflings.
Do I know anything about halflings in the capital?
Halflings are generally, they're funny folk. They enjoy the nice things in life, and they make do with whatever. They're friendly enough, but they prefer being out in the open instead of being cooped up in the capital. So you do see some halflings around. But yeah.
So
Then pops a bottle of wine out of the back of his backpack.
Okay, Bella, if you have attuned to that, let me just send you that stuff.
Rennas pops a bottle of wine out, gives it to Arri, so Arri can go and approach the halflings and offer a bottle of wine as, greetings and shizzle.
Perfect moment.
Do you think we'll be able to trust them with the carts?
Well, they're not the carts. They're, we don't have to tell them we've got like 17 million treasure carts of
So,
shitloads of
in
money
your
back there.
inventory, Bella, you can put in a DOS loot, which is DOSS. And I'm
The
just
boss
gonna...
loot.
DOS.
DOS. DOS is good, yeah?
This is very good.
It's good. It's the DOS loot.
Here's the description for it.
Oh.
Oh, it's big.
Everybody knows now.
So only you can attune to this because you are in fact bardic. Now.
Give me 7 more levels and I can. I'd like you to be surviving 7 levels is unlikely, but
Introduce ourselves, right?
Hold on. Proficiency. And there's some additional things that you get as well. Here you go.
Jesus Christ.
it's the most complicated loot ever.
Oh, it's a shame you weren't proficient in it before that fight.
Yeah. Dude.
Okay, so. Just going to take this out.
Literally yeet my stuff around. Lovely.
So, you can see lots of people around there. Most of them are short folk. A few people take your eyes as sort of maybe like the leaders of the folk. You can see a green-skinned, green-haired fella with a big bulbous nose and long ears. And you actually, now that you see them more specifically, most of these people that you see were in fact at the play. They watched you.
Oh gosh.
So, what would you guys like to do?
I want to run up to the table.
Loic, you have had a long rest now, so go ahead.
Arri, you have a bottle of wine for me.
So Arrabella, you head up to the rest of them. You start passing away. The halflings notice these strange people arriving, and they just go, "Hey, new friends, come in! We've got plenty of food for everyone." They're very happy and very chipper to see you all. They part ways until eventually you get through to the table, where there is a halfling with a wide-brimmed hat around with a blue feather in it, and he goes, "Hey, well, welcome to the camp. We're having quite a mighty feast. Help yourself with anything. We've got ham, we've got chicken, we've got a pork, and we've got fresh deer hunted just this morning."
Thank you. That's extremely generous of you. Loic starts grubbing.
Dig in. We've got plenty more than where they came from. So, if she can, Verity. So, we don't often see travelers around these parts. Where are you heading, folks?
I mean, Arri, this is clearly your gig.
As I'm stuffing my face, like, oh, we're just off to the capital. Where are you going? Where have you been? How come you're all here? How many of you are here?
Jesus.
Oh, well, that's a lot of questions, little missy.
Oh, we're excited.
Well, we just do what halflings do best. We just go where the wind takes us, you know? Just living life every day, just taking it as it is, feeling easy, you know? No responsibilities, no compromises, just pure nature, you know?
Oh, I wish. Where have you been? Like, where were you before this? Have you been here long?
Well, we've been in this spot for about a day, and then for another day we were in another spot, and then so on and so forth, all the way over the country. We originally came from overseas, but we came here when we realized the war was over, and we've just been going around just cheering people up. Folks need it now these times.
100%. Completely agree with that. So you don't actually know where you have been. No names, just a spot.
Brian, Varad. We did a tent in Tokyo, didn't we, Ernie? Oh, yeah, we did.
How did you find Varad?
Varad, well, it was nice. Big military presence there, so we were kind of made to feel like we weren't welcome or something like that. But we played anyway. It was fine.
Nice. And what was Tokyo like?
Oh, Tokyo, that was a beautiful city. Peach trees everywhere. Everything was pink and purple. And everybody wears these, like, strange clothes and they walk in a specific fashion. And, yeah, it's, like, really odd. But it was really cool to visit. I recommend you go.
Yeah? Much of a military presence there?
They have their own little militia thing, I guess.
No, like, kind of crimson armor?
I mean, they wear crimson in their flag. I don't really notice that sort of thing, sorry.
No, it's fine, but crimson in their flag. That's cool. That sounds really pretty.
Yeah.
It kind of matches their trees.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name. What's your name?
To be fair, I didn't say it. I'm so rude. My name's Arrabella.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Arrabella. My name's Scamfor.
It's very nice to meet you.
So,
I assume I'm talking into a common now rather than Halfling, because I have a nasty habit of going into Halfling for no reason.
I just got the... I did. He stopped speaking in common as well. So, my apologies for excusing everybody on that conversation, but I gotta say, Arrabella, your Halfling's a little out of touch. You don't use that very much, do you?
Nowhere near as much as I'd like to. The only person who I travel with that can talk it is my sister, and we've been so busy the last couple of weeks that I've hardly had a chance to talk to her.
Oh, I mean, forgive me for saying, but is that big lady over there? He gestures towards Bellatrix, who's just sort of basically a giant amongst small people. Just sort of like looking a little bit out of place. Is she your sister?
I call her over and I say she's basically a sister.
No, I'll give you a big hug.
No. You gotta come over to the table.
Oh, wait.
Hey, that's as you come over, Bellatrix, he says, "Wow, that's a mighty fine instrument you got there. You know how to play it?"
Not really.
Want me to teach you?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, come with me then, and we'll go.
Okay.
Nice meeting you.
He leads you over to here.
Bye, I guess.
Have fun. Be safe.
I'm just waving confusedly, just like.
So he looks at you. He looks at you, Bellatrix, and he says, "Okay, so the very first important thing is you just got to go with the flow. Like music is all about freestyle. You know, you get some of those musical songs that follows a set rhythm. But that's boring. That's not the way of the life of what we do. What we hear is all about just taking where your heart goes. You know."
Yeah, I know.
So just play to your heart's content. You know, if something sounds wrong, it don't matter. We're all playing something a little wrong.
Cool.
And eventually, it just sounds that much better.
I like this philosophy. Yeah, I can live with this.
Yeah. So, let's see what you got. And do you start playing?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make a performance check.
Oh god. Okay. Boop.
You start playing, and it takes you a few seconds of like, oh, what's going on? But then actually you start strumming it out, and while it's relatively basic, it's good enough to sort of tap your feet to, and he goes, yeah, that's the feeling, that's where you're getting it. Yeah. That's great.
I just turn around like, what the fuck? When could you learn to play the lute?
I don't know!
Oh, guys, you guys are flowing, my friend. You guys are really getting a flow now. Hey, Edward! He shouts to the brown-haired halfling who has a bit of a banjo himself. He's got a dashingly famous smile about him, glorious white teeth, and he goes, "Oh yeah, what's up, Scamfor? I'm really feeling the flow. How about we sing about what's his name? I forget his name. Gorin. Yeah, Gorin. Should we sing the Gorin song?" To which a lady with pink hair who is also playing a small banjo and says, "Oh, I love the Korgrin song. You want to be the tempo? You only if I can be the singer." And they start sort of chatting away amongst themselves. During that conversation, her name is revealed to be Rennas.
Cute.
And they offer you to start. Scanford turns back towards you, Bellatrix, and says, "Well, you might not know this very well, but just try and keep up and just see where the music takes you, yeah?"
Okay.
All right, and they start preparing their music, and the general vicinity of the crowd sort of starts paying attention to them, and they're wild. And the entire crowd is just, they're clapping, they're singing, they're happy. This is like sort of family favourite, and they start dancing. Everybody at the table, people come up to you, and they start they take your hand and they start taking you out into the area in front of them to start dancing around. Is anybody not going for a dance?
Rennas is already there.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't dance.
Otti included. Halfling takes your hand and leads you out into the
drags Otti.
I'm gonna go over. Yeah, let's go.
I get performance checks from everybody.
I'm glad you got up, Loic, because if you didn't, I would have dragged you.
Just some prompting.
I'm not doing very well, but
Bella, you're not playing yourself right now.
In my
but nobody else is noticing. It's just too much of a jovial thing. Otti, you're dancing a little awkward, but it doesn't matter. Everyone's sort of just going all over the place. Arri, you've never felt like this before. You're feeling like part of the community, like you're amongst your own people. You've never felt before, and the steps just take you, and like everyone is dancing around you in circles, and take your hand, spin you around, you go to the next person, spin you around, you go to the next person, and it's just so natural for you. Rennas, you keep on tripping you over on your own feet, but everybody just laughs and is just happy. Loic, can I get performance from you as well, please?
Yeah!
Oh!
Loic!
And Loic, you are teaching them things. You are teaching them things. You are teaching them the classic capital dances of the Arrabella. And they're into it. They're like, about 5 halflings next to you start copying the moves that you're doing. And you get your own like little Congo procession going on. And everybody's just having a good time. You can see the green-skinned man. He's not dancing, but he's sitting down on the ground. He's just clapping, going,
"Come dance, green-skinned man! Come dance!"
Green man!
You go over to him and he takes you behind and he goes, "Oh, okay then." Everybody's going all over the place, dancing all over the place. Generally a merry, merry time. Bellatrix.
Can I do something really not?
Yeah?
Can I do a perception check to make sure no one's going to try and pickpocket me?
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. Bellatrix, you are feeling...
Rennas immediately tries to pickpocket
going
her.
through your fingers. You're feeling something going through your fingers. An energy you have not explained before. Like, you felt different ever since the opportunity was great. But now it's only now that you realise that you're actually channeling whatever it is through you more effectively. Just through either song or just... It's not even song, it's just positive emotions.
Yeah.
That just makes it appropriate. And with that, the song comes to the close, and the entire crowd is just applauding everybody. And eventually it disperses a little bit, and they get back to feasting. So, Scanford comes back over to you, Bellatrix, and he goes, "Oh, I love that one. Wow, you're really good. Have you done this sort of thing before?"
No, never.
Wow, it's almost as if you would, sort of channeling a few things there. I kind of get the presence that, you know a little bit of the old ways, some of the bards. You've heard of bards, right?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting the sense that, you're on that level. Have you ever done? Has anyone ever said this to you before?
No, I mean, I used to cut hair. I was pretty good at it, so artistry's kind of in there.
Oh, that's really surprising. Here, let me see if I can teach you a few things. And he leads you over to the off towards mainly over the side, sort of away from the crowd. And he says, all right, so you know those really, really happy feelings that you just had during that song, and when you were sort of almost channeling them through what you're playing. You don't need an instrument to do that. You can just do that from your own source of presence, your own charisma. If you know what I'm saying? Just think happy thoughts and just try to mix the energy around you and just see what you can do.
Okay, I'm pretty good at being happy. So I can try that.
No worries. So as you pay attention to these words, Bellatrix, takes you a few moments, but eventually you do get that happy feeling again. If you'd like, you can go and cast your first cantrip.
Oh! Okay. Oh, I only have one good one and one bad one. So I will cast message to him and just be like,
okay.
Can you hear anything? Is it working?
And without his lips moving, you hear back in your head, I can definitely hear it. That's amazing.
I just hug him without saying anything.
You kick him off his feet, and his little feet are dangling there, and he hugs you back. Yeah. Oh, wow. And you only did that after like a minute of trying. Let's see what else you can do.
Oh, okay.
And for the rest of the night, Bella, this guy's going to be teaching you all the first level Smardic spells.
Yeah!
Yay!
Go! What a dude. I like this guy.
So, Rennas, Loic, Arrabella, and Otti. After the song is over, you guys return to the table, a little bit pooped out from the dancing, a bit of an adrenaline rush, but you sit back down and you start feasting. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna go over to this man. Are you green?
Yeah. Well,
Look, you can't just ask someone why they're green.
I don't see these things in the capital. I don't see the little green ghoulies running around.
Hey, no, it's no offense at all. My skin's green because I am green.
Why?
Oh, I was just born like it. Why were you born with silly ears?
Give you credit for that. Are you a halfling?
Oh no, I'm what they call a fireball.
Ooh, where do those come from? What's the deal with those?
Oh, I have no idea. Apparently these guys found me on the beach one day, and I've just stuck with them ever since.
Oh yeah, love the enthusiasm. I didn't mean to offend you with the green skin thing. You just kind of caught me off guard.
No offense taken at all. You didn't kick me on the balls or anything. Now that would be pretty offensive.
Of course not. Of course not. Just gonna chum out with the furball and vibe out with him for a while.
As you speak with him, he's pretty happy-go-lucky, but he's a bit dim-witted. So Loic is chatting away with the fireball. He eventually introduces himself as Frederick.
Cute.
Okay, so Arrabella and Otti, what are you guys up to? Sitting next to each other at the table?
I want to explore.
I want to go and see who this person is. Do you want to come with me?
Yes, let's go.
Come on, let's go. Let's go and explore.
Okay.
And I'm going to step around the fire.
So despite the tokens there are actually hundreds of halflings around here. You get this after just sort of chatting around with them. You get the sense that they just live communal style. Probably about a dozen, maybe 2 dozen to a tent. I mean, it's big enough for them. They just like sleeping. They just like sleeping together because it's just how they do it. Really, it's not even anything sexual. It's just happy, you know. Like just one big slumber party for them, or sleeping in a tent. That's just what they like to do. As you walk on over to that particular area, you see one halfling, a little bit taller than the rest. She's got wildly blue hair, something to kind of make Bellatrix a little bit proud, really. Looks like she's currently speaking, telling a story to all the small children that are clearly up way past their bedtime. And it looks like it's a bit of a scary story. And as she goes further and further into it, you can see the children are going, until eventually she sort of finishes it off where she goes, and then it was just right behind them like it is now. And the kids go, and they start running off into their tents. She has a raucous good laugh, but eventually, about a few seconds pass, and some of the mothers come out of their tents and just going, Yondala, was that you? Sorry. And she just goes back to...
So, if they're talking in Halfling, I'm translating all this to OT.
Some of them speak in Halfling, but most of them are actually speaking in Common.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm just guessing what they're saying. If they're speaking in Halfling, I'm like, yeah, the weather's lovely today. Yeah, wonderful. And
to those who don't understand Halfling, it basically just sounds like...
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, very squirrely.
Yes, Animal Crossing.
You're not buried over there.
Yeah, I'll translate to those who are around me if they hear Halfling. Oh, that's fab. I'm happy. I am in a place with my own people. And I will say as well, I am more than happy sleeping with other people. It's just Verity's we've been out, and she's the person I share my bed with. Because she's my family.
So after an hour passes, you guys kind of realise, oh shit, Korgrin and Verity are still back at the tent, and we're having all this fun without them.
Oops.
I mean, they were invited.
It does look like Bellatrix is going to be busy for the rest of the hour, but I would say...
I'll go back.
Would someone go back to basically say, hey, it's...
No, you stay here. You're with your people. I'll go back and fetch them.
No, I'll go back. It's fine. I'm on my way. It looks like Loic's coming with me.
I'll go too.
Okay, well, I mean, there's alcohol here, so I'm going nowhere then.
Strength in numbers.
The green
you guys head on backwards, and about 10 minutes later, you come up to Korgrin and Verity, who look like they have been maybe trying to nap off, but the music has been too loud, and now they're being a little grouchy.
So I just explained to them that it is like a troop of halflings that have just come around. It's really cool. Bella's learning a lot. There's food, there's alcohol, there's stories. It's a lot of fun.
There's a green man. We have packages of food. I threw up a package of chicken to Korgrin.
No thanks. I've got some things to think about.
I'm gonna take it back. I want it if he doesn't.
I mean, I'd rather keep an eye on the tributes. So I don't. Wow.
You want
to take them with us?
It's fine. You go. I'll stay. Keep an eye.
The drivers are like, hey, you mind if we go? If there's free food.
I was going to offer. It sounded like they were having a good time, so by all means, be my guest.
I mean, these guys have put up with a lot of shit with us, so...
They have.
Yeah. The little lady's got a point. We do put up with a lot of shit. We're going to go get smashed. I'll see you later. And
I can't wait till they get drunk around Rennas and start gobbing off.
So eventually, from the party's perspective, the three human drivers join in and start feasting and drinking along with all of them. It only takes them about an hour before they're in the bushes puking their guts out from drinking too much.
Fucking waste of space.
Oh god, they're going to be so drunk and so hungover when they've got to drive these wagons tomorrow.
If they get breathalyzed driving these wagons tomorrow, we're screwed.
So, Korgrin, what's on your mind? Are you saying a prayer to Moradin or just
Yeah, most likely it would be. Korgrin never really thought this was what he signed up for in terms of when he went looking for his mum. Genuinely didn't think he would be out home for quite literal years, and nearly dying today put a lot of that into perspective. Like, is this a lost cause? Is there actually any chance of finding her? If this is what he's run into, what does she run into?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of lost in thought. Like, could have spent this time at home with his father, running the business, potentially taking it over, letting his dad retire, and just have the last few years to himself.
The path not taken.
Yeah, the what ifs and the how it could have beens.
Yeah. So, is this more of an internal monologue, or are you trying to communicate with Moradin about this?
Probably a little bit with Moradin, but mostly internal monologue.
Alright. Okay, so I would say that keeps you busy, keeps your mind active. You don't get any message from Moradin, but you do have that similar feeling, knowing that wherever he is watching over you, just as he watched all of his his faithful subjects. Eventually, sleep takes you, and overcoming the intense annoyingty of the ever-playing music in the distance, sleep does eventually take you. Verity, what's going through Verity's mind tonight?
I'm just gonna be doing keeping my distance from Corgi because he looks like he needs some alone time. I mean, dying. Oh no, that's tragedy. Like I've done it 5 times. Kidding. That was a joke. That's what he said. But yeah, just gonna be studying, just keeping an eye out, making sure nobody approaches the carts or anything like that.
I mean, on occasion throughout the night, you'll see some drunk halflings wander close, and seeing the death glares that you give them, they just quickly turn around.
I say in a halfling,
they'll be like, yeah, I was right out. Oh God, this is it. Oh God, run away! And they're off.
And just even if it means taking a point of exhaustion, just staying up and keeping an eye.
I mean, you're in a relatively safe area, but if you want to take that point of exhaustion just to keep an eye on everything, you can do.
I don't trust anything anymore!
So... So you fight the urge to sleep, but you generally stay awake for the majority of the time, until eventually the drunk drivers do come back. One of them completely sloshed and being held over the shoulders of the other two. But they're willing to. One of them, the eldest of the group, a man named George. He's sober enough to take over for the rest of the night, essentially. So you can get your rest.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone back at the camp. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do throughout the night, or do you eventually just share a tent with the other halflings and go to sleep?
I wanna. I'll play some little tricks with some of my new spells.
Okay, what tricks would you like to play, and on whom?
Let's see. I want to cast Unseen Servant.
Yeah.
And I want to... Let's see, what should I make it do? What's the extent?
I mean, it's basically just having...
It's just a little dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just a guy that you can't see that will do anything for you.
He's so cool.
Wow.
No. I want to make him... Let's see, what would Rennas hate? I want to make him keep knocking Rennas' drink over.
No! Every time I lift my glass to my lips, it falls out my handle.
Yeah.
Rennas, just go ahead and make a perception check at disadvantage, because obviously you've had a few drinks and you're not all there.
I don't know what you mean, a few drinks. How dare you? What am I looking? Perception. Yeah. I didn't even need the disadvantage.
Around 2 a.m, you're like, oh man, I really need another drink. And every single time you go to slip your drink,
I am way more drunk than I thought I was, guys. I can't even hit my mouth.
Every single time you go to pick up a glass, it just magically just goes. Bellatrix, you can't really see your unseen servant, but you can feel where he is, and you can basically just feel your unseen servant just waiting for Rennas to go for a drink before just going.
Beautiful.
God damn it!
You can see Rennas getting increasingly confused by this.
Rennas just starts lapping up the wine from the table where it drops.
Eventually, Rennas just goes onto the table itself. Next to about 3 other halflings who have also passed out and drink as well.
Nice.
Is there anything else you'd like to test, Bellatrix?
Not just yet. No, the rest of them are a bit. What were the other spells I took?
So, Loic, eventually Frederick is a bit tired. Goes a bit tired and says, "Oh boy, I'm gonna go get some shut-eye now. Good night, everyone. It was really nice meeting everybody." Loic, if you want to go sleep with Frederick.
I mean, not with him, but like next to him, make sure he's good to go. You know.
I bet he's warm.
You know, come on then. He looks at you, Loic, and says, "Oh, you look pretty fuzzy. You want to kip with me tonight?"
Oh.
Yeah. It's just really interesting to see how you function, you know?
Well, I function just like you do. You know, I eat, I sleep. On occasion, I even have to poo.
This is more of a party. Are we sleeping here tonight, like in this camp?
Oh, well, that's where I'll be sleeping.
Well, I've passed out, so I don't really have a lot of choice.
I'm pretty drunk, so
If someone carries me back, I'll sleep in it.
I guess Frederick's tent is good as any, so...
All right, then, let's go to bed.
Oh, no.
Loic realizes he might have made a mistake.
As you go in, you step over about 5 other halflings who have already passed out in the tent. He finds a nice little comfortable spot, basically just curls up like a cat and goes to sleep.
Cute. He's cute.
You go to sleep next to him. Eventually, your snores just join the chorus of snores from inside the tent. When you wake up in the morning, Frederick is spooning you.
Oh.
Arrabella and Otti, was there anything you guys wanted to do before turning into bed?
I just wanted to go to, like... So you know how house parties kind of congregate in the kitchen and just kind of chat shit and say stories for, like, the whole night?
Yeah, that's basically this area over here.
Yeah, I was going to see if there was a tent like that. And if there's a tent like that, I would stay in there until I passed out.
The tents are generally meant for sleeping. So, like, the actual... the way that the halflings are doing it is that if they want to chat gossip or chat shit, do it out in nature under the stars. Nothing better than that.
I will be there then, listening to them all, laying on my back, just staring at the stars, just kind of feeling like this completeness that I feel like I haven't felt for a while, and just
the halflings
a belonging.
Chat shit with you. I mean, they're fascinated by you. Actually, I mean, they've not met any halflings like yourself, so they're quite interested in just hearing about your tales and where you've gone and where you've been and where you're going.
I give them an over-traumatized, slightly false version because I don't want them knowing the whole thing.
No worries. Well, I would say by the end of it, you can count yourself as a friend amongst these halflings, and they really, really like you, and they're happy to have you. Otti, what were you doing?
So I've seen Loic go to bed. Bella's having a good time. Arri's like faffing around, and Rennas is drunk. So At this point, I'm going to go over to Bella. I'm going to go back and check on the carts, make sure everything's all right, and I'll go and sleep with the carts.
Okay. So
if you want to stay here, but I'll go back to the carts.
I can come with you.
If you don't have to, you can stay here.
Yeah, by the time you're done learning your spells, Bella, it's probably about 4 a.m. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
and
stay
the
here.
party's still actually going, albeit less people, but it's still going.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, as long as I make sure that everyone's kind of like tucked up, I'm just going to go back to the cart.
No worries.
Do it, Otti. Join the responsible ones.
leave
Otti
the shady ones to their tents.
You've had a few drinks, so you're a little wobbly, but you're okay. You're a strong lady. And eventually you kip up next to Verity and Korgrin, and sleep overcomes you.
I want to make sure that Verity's like tucked under the blankets, like all the others just squiggly first. I look like Claire at the. Yeah, she's asleep. That's fine. She can stay asleep.
So I always imagine Verity like one of those chaotic sleepers where the pillows are over there and the cover is over there, and she's basically like sleeping with one arm like that and one leg sticking over the bed, and she's.
Yeah, Korgrin's like on the floor. Korgrin's like on the floor.
Korgrin sleeps like he's in a coffin.
As long as they're all right, they're both asleep. They've both got covers on them, and nothing's going to happen to them. Then I'll go to sleep.
They're good. They're good. So, sleep overtakes you all. And the morning comes, and you all oversleep a little, but it's okay. Eventually,
does Korgrin think it's okay? As he's guarding the wagons on his own.
Scanfloor eventually gives basically not gives the order, but basically just says, "All right, fellas, come on, pack it up, we're moving on." And then everybody starts tucking the tents away, getting their things together, taking the festivities and the banners down from the barn, and preparing to go on their way. Arrabella, you were chatting with Yon Dada a fair amount. Was that a proper whisper?
That was on purpose.
Yeah. I just wanted to check because I didn't know if you wanted to do a Loic or not.
Well, now I'm wondering what Loic is stolen.
The tribune's now empty.
Before you go head back to the cart and go on your way, Arrabella, Yondala comes up to you and goes, Hey, Arri, before you go, so I had a lot of fun with you last night. I was kind of hoping we could do this like more.
Shit.
I would love that. Nice winky face. How can I contact you? Like, what is the best way? Do I send a letter to a bar? I plan to head east, west, north.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we could go through all that, but I mean, I've already spoken to some of the others about this. We were kind of hoping you'd come with us.
You may come with me, but I'm afraid I have to go on. I would love to stay. You have no idea how much I would love to stay, but I have to move on. Unfortunately,
that's a shame.
Destiny, that's tiny.
If you
It's
got
after me.
You got some business to take care of, that's absolutely fine. But just know that you'll always have a place in one of our tents.
Thank you. And that means so much more to me than you
You're
know.
us. I know you already have a sister, but you're our sister now.
And I'm sure that if you met her last night, she'd be your sister too. She is.
Oh,
she's the better version of
as
me.
Wonderful as you are.
She's better.
She goes in and gives you a hug.
Give her a clutch. I do have a retirement plan now. Sorted. And you can come visit me.
If you're ever looking for us, just ask where the best music is, and I'm sure they'll send you our way.
See, what I think they should give me now is like a little ocarina, and then I can just blow it to remember them,
She doesn't have an ocarina, but she does have a flute that she offers to you.
Oh, I'll have the flute.
So
we can make bad music together.
You can take you can put Yondada's flute in your inventory. She says, "I made that myself. I was going to give it to someone I really cared about, but well, you'll do." And she just smiles.
I'll treasure it always, and I put it in my pack.
I'd have slapped him.
You'll do.
I think she's a woman.
Sorry, them. I'd have just
with that, Scan4 wishes you all a very fond farewell. Frederick just kind of like lazily waves goodbye to you, like goes, "Goodbye. I had a lot of fun last night. You're really cool."
I'm going to see if they've got, like, 4 or 5 days of rations that we can pinch.
Oh, no, I got plenty of food. Don't worry. I got,
You
like,
don't have to,
bags of
you don't have
food.
to pinch it. Scanfor offers you 14 days worth of rations.
And
We got
now I'll
loads of
take
food,
it.
Just take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. 14
You
days of
want any ale
rations.
as well? Oh, shit. You want any ale as well? We've got loads of ale.
Yes, I will take as much ale as I can
As it is
carry.
perked up at that and comes and joins the conversation.
I love to carry some kegs.
You can basically take the equivalent of 2 kegs of ale if you want.
Okay, do you two guys want to carry that? Because I don't think Arri would
I'll
be able
take
to
the
carry
kegs.
a
I'm sure I
keg.
can carry them.
Yes, Rennas will take the ale.
Okay, so eventually goodbyes are said, and you guys make your way back to the car. Otti, Verity, and Korgrin, you lock off into the tree line to see the others emerge, and Loic and Rennas are rolling kegs of ale down the road towards you.
I mean, I guess this is why we have a bag of holding now.
It's a kebab in the bag
a
of
bit
holding.
of a tight squeeze, but you could get them in there.
Nice.
So you guys eventually, unless there's anything else you'd like to do, or you can get on
I
your
was
way.
just going to say, I don't know whether we've actually been taking our rations as we go through the days, but like, if you guys need 2 days of rations because you're out, have 2 days of rations from the 14 days I just took.
Okay.
I don't think I've been taking notes of rations.
No, I don't think I
I'm
have
not sure
either.
I have, to be fair.
Unless it's for survival purposes. I mean, Arri, you're a ranger, so therefore, I always assume that every evening you will go out and hunt and forage and bring back enough food for anyone. Anyway.
And good berries. Yeah.
And good
I
berries.
got the good berries.
So
like, does
unless there's
anybody want to
cause for
keep good
survival,
berry on them?
I don't.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys travel on your way, making your way back.
Did any of you talk to the halflings about the play? Pretty sure they were there.
No.
No, I didn't. I talked to them about Florida and Tokyo, but nothing about the play.
I just got so drunk I couldn't even drink at the end. I kept dropping my goblet. I don't know what the hell was happening.
Weird. It's really weird. I saw that happening. I don't know. Strange occurrences.
Bella, though, oh my god, Bella played in the band, and my lord, the dances were just fantastic that came from that. Like, even Rennas, he was a bit, standing on people's feet. And then Loic, he didn't even want to dance. And my god, when you can get that boy on his feet, Jesus Christ, is he good.
You gotta hang out in the elven slums. I'm telling you, you'll find some character down there.
I can always definitely come in drinking with us in the elven slums.
Depression.
Well, he said Bella, so I assume he wants to take the Barbarian with him rather than the Halfling.
Did you say Bella? I thought we said Arri. I wasn't.
I heard Arri, I heard
Anyone who wants to go, really?
The elven slums are the place to drink.
Bella. I'm always up for a drink.
I mean, I say that like I've ever been there, but hey.
Okay, so you guys venture on your way, and each time you sort of focus on the area around you, do you notice that the air is getting colder, and the floor is becoming frostier. Eventually, before you even know it, the grass has been left behind and is replaced with a very thin sheet of snow as the mountains are getting larger and larger and larger. Following the path, eventually, you button up because it is now very cold. Loic, you see the sight that you've seen once before. The first of you are seeing it for the first time. The 2 towers and the massive gargantuan gate that is the frost gates to Jarashtukai.
Oh shit.
Oh, Rennas, you might want to take this time to cover up your ears, man. I know you don't want to, but I mean, just from a very pragmatic standpoint, we don't want to cause.
I display my ears proudly.
Yes, Arri. Everything is in order.
That's good.
Nobody took anything.
I just got a bit panicked.
At least to my knowledge.
If the GM doesn't know, I'm hoping it didn't happen.
Well, I don't know if any of the players took it, that's all.
Do I still have what's his face's cloak?
What's his face's cloak?
Yeah, the fire
Raphael
sword.
Balance Stars.
Sorry, I did not catch that. Could you repeat that, please?
Raphael's.
Raphael's cloak. I mean, I assume he would have taken it back.
No, that's fair. I've never actually taken it off, and obviously I was asleep, so I wouldn't have picked it up. I was just checking. I will remove it from my inventory because it is still chilling there. I do have my fox skin scarf though.
So as you guys are, you're probably about half an hour away from the gate, but they're very, very, very big. You can see. As you get closer and closer, you can see there's a number of activity on the walls, outside of it, and even in the towers themselves. The mountains now are no longer rock. They are just, from what you can see, pure ice, like icebergs just jotted into the ground itself. And the designs of these towers are monolithic, almost elven in nature. Old ancient elves. And Loic, this has always been a contention for your people that many of the designs of the capital city were taken from ancient elven crafting, purely because it was superior. And the argument has been that, essentially humans stole elven culture and butchered them before they could say anything about it.
It's been a pretty great time.
However, for the rest of you, this is an awe-inspiring sight. And as you're getting closer and closer to the gate itself, you can see that it's wide enough to probably fit a whole platoon through at once, probably about 20 men side by side marching through. The walls themselves are about 50, 60 feet high. They have a thin layer of ice on them, but you can see torches, sort of fire braziers darting across the tops of the walls itself, where you can see there are dozens upon dozens of archers on the walls, just keeping a lookout for the next incursion or whatever or anything. Getting closer and closer, you can see that there is a number of guards on the base there, probably about a dozen or so. And as you're getting closer, two of them start walking out towards you, meeting you about halfway. So you're still a couple of minutes away from the actual gates itself. They meet you on the road, and he goes, "Halt! Who approaches the frost gates?"
People escorting the tribute.
Tribute from Brian.
Tribute from Brian. May I see the official documentation, please?
Assume the drivers have that.
Yeah, the drivers have that. So they're fumbling around. It says, "Here you go." And he takes it, literally snatches it from them, and almost palms the old, George away, the older one, and says,
I just give him a disgusted look.
He does not notice it. And he looks into the car and says, There appears to be an anomaly in your paperwork.
We found more.
You found more.
You know the last two tributes that went missing? Well, we just, killed the bandits, killed a dragon, got the tributes back. Thought we'd bring that too.
He's going to make an insight check against you. As he goes. And I suppose that makes you important then, does it?
I know, does it?
I don't know. You tell me. I've heard many tales before. Killing a dragon is a new one.
Were the tales backed up by extra carts of treasure?
I go into the tribute carts and I pull out the dragon's head.
Extra carts of treasure and a dragon's head.
He looks at you and his eyes slightly arise a little bit. And you start showing him all these components. And it's like...
He emotes.
Okay. Very well. Let me take you at your word then, and say that you killed the dragon and got these things back. Why did you not contact the appropriate authorities in order to take care of this? What
Not
makes you think
really
you
an awful lot of time.
What
We
makes
were
you
already
think
on our
you have the
way.
right
I mean,
to
it
be
just-
vigilantes? The king's
Vigilantes?
gold and the king's tribute, and you're taking matters into your own hands.
Right. Let me make it clear. We didn't go looking for these bandits. These bandits attacked us because we were carrying a tribute. So we killed the bandits and we asked them what they did with the other tributes they'd already attacked. They told us we got them back. Do you want the extra gold or not? Do you want me to go to the boss inside and say, the guard outside wouldn't let us in because we had too much tribute?
We weren't able because we feared that the bandits might move.
This dude, relax.
We
don't feel like we've done anything wrong.
Rennas or Loic, you can make a persuasion roll at advantage. Either one of you.
Go ahead. You can make it, Rennas, but I'm gonna kind of back Rennas up. I'm gonna say we had our suspicions that these bandits could have moved their location. It was a time sensitive matter. We didn't have a ton of time to really make a choice. So we figured we'd rather deal with it than let it go and maybe have additional passers-by be attacked.
So he listens to you, and his demeanor doesn't really change, but he doesn't. His voice, his tonal is a lot less hostile. He looks at all of you and he says, "Very well. I shan't look a gift horse in the mouth. You've provided a good service to your king. You should be commended for this."
We live but to serve.
Good. Now, we have a few. We'll have to check the tribute, make sure everything is there as it's supposed to be. Obviously, you've got the extras here, but we just need to make sure everything is in order. There's no hidden surprises waiting inside. You will all be thoroughly checked out and investigated before allowing entry. But if everything checks out, then you may proceed on your way to the capital of Jarasukai.
Yeah, while that's going on,
Sorry.
Did you?
I'm just gonna grab both Loic and Rennas and be like, well, just so you know, I'm with these guys. If they're going anywhere, I'm going with them.
Solidarity, sister.
Just putting that out there.
Very well. The little girl can accompany the half-elves.
While that's going on, do you mind pointing me towards your captain?
I am your captain for now.
Oh. Heads.
Those are disgusting little things. Where did you find them?
Just outside of Bluetown, some promises were made to pay us for eradicating a hag coven in the area, and kidnapping kids.
Promises made by who?
I want to give the name exactly.
Gavin or Gareth. Gavin, probably.
Just the guards are blue.
There was a captain in the area. Yeah, there was a captain in the area. There was one, and there were a bunch of privates. And I kind of nudge.
He turns to the second guard next to him. And he starts whispering something into his ear. The guy whispers back. He looks to you and says, "There are no captains in Bluetown."
They instructed us to go to Frostbeard.
I mean, he only assumed authority because he was the oldest, but I believe they all shared the same rank.
And what rank was that?
Soldier.
All needs subtlety.
Very well. Thank you very much for bringing this attention to me. Those are two hag heads, a green and a sea hag. Very evil. Very, very disruptive to community efforts. Very well. He reaches inside his pouch and he chucks it to you, Korgrin. It's got a little chingle towards it. A reward for your times. 10 gold pieces.
How much?
10 gold pieces.
Well, remember this.
You'll say thank you to the captain to the guard for rewarding you for your efforts when we did not have to.
Are you the captain of the guards
by a private. I'm considered an authority for you right now.
Yeah, but is that your official ranking, Captain of the Guards here?
I am a sergeant here.
Sergeant. Okay, out of character. Is that above or below, Captain?
It's above.
Below.
That's below captain. It's above.
Below a captain, and you guys do not have the authority nor the right to see a captain.
Okay, because he did ask to talk to the captain, and you just kind of deceived him, which I think is a bit kind of like shady. But your judgment, not mine.
You want to speak to my boss, do you?
And I actually use, and I've never used this before. I use my soldier feature.
Oh. And what does the soldier feature give you?
You can invoke your rank to exert influence over other soldiers and requisition simple equipment or horses for temporary use. You can also usually gain access to friendly military encampments and fortresses where your rank is recognized.
Your rank is not recognized here.
Fuck my life.
Soldier. You're a dwarven soldier in human lands.
What about Otti?
Otti is a
I thought you were an ex-soldier.
No, I'm a town guard. There's nothing special about that.
I thought you were back to a soldier. I apologise. Okay, sorry.
That was fucking useless.
Worth a try.
Very well. We shall begin assessment and allow you onto Jarasukai. The whole process should take no more than a few hours, so please be patient. Refreshments will be brought to you.
A few hours? It's bloody cold. Can you hurry up, please? What is your name?
My name is Rennas.
Could you type that, please?
Nick,
all the Ofsted reports Otti's going to be writing these days.
Yeah, pretty much.
Speak to your manager, please. Yeah, sure thing, Karen. No problem.
That's a whole class in the
Fine. Can you hurry up, please? Because I'm getting cold.
Oh no, my best friend's a Karen.
Well, if you had kept your tongue long enough, you would have realised I was about to invite you inside where it is warm, but I'm wondering if I should just leave you out here now.
Just let us in. We're cold. We can go and stand somewhere else.
I just walked past him.
Okay. I'm going to look at him straight on.
As you walk past him, 5 arrows appear before your feet. You have not been given permission to walk past.
I pick each of the arrows up and put them in my quiver.
You'll give those back when you get inside.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to grab you by the scruff and I'm going to stick you in the bloody car. Stay there. I'm going to look straight up to this guy. I'm going to say, I am awfully sorry.
No, mending wouldn't do that, but mage hand would, Arri.
Okay.
I am awfully sorry for the disrespect we have... I haven't finished yet. Please let me finish. For the disrespect that we have shown you, we are utterly sorry. Please let us inside so we can get warm.
Apology accepted. Very well. If you come with me, we'll take you inside now. As he turns, he gives a hand signal to the guards, and you can see there's a little bit of a hustle and bustle on the tower itself, and the gates slowly open, and they start walking back. So he only takes about 5 to 10 steps or so when the slow opening of the gate stops, and they start closing again. And the guy looks like, what? And then you hear a horn. There's now a lot of activity on the wall and around the towers themselves. You can see that some beacons are lighting up. The man you've been speaking to looks to his compatriots and goes, "What's it?"
Yeah, I opened it because I closed that.
No.
Will do.
He takes a few steps forward and says, "What's going on? May we approach?" And at that point, you hear another horn. This time not coming from the gates, but coming from behind you.
Oh shit.
You turn around, and on the horizon, you can just about see a whole company of soldiers coming towards you, bearing the sigils and the marks of Edgar.
Well, this is going to go well.
And that's where we'll leave it.